Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pub. It's Saturday night. Last Dance, RW. Thanks for being here. We got Eastwind, English Bottle Cap, Scum TV. What is going on? Good to see everybody. Just Steve-O. OG. What up? Good to see you, man. Awesome. Thanks for being here for the start, everyone. Very cool. Lots of war going on right now, so try to keep a tab of war open somewhere. If anyone wants to monitor that, let me know if there's a good video of this medicine's coming. Check it out. Audio? Little low. Okay. Let us to see. Watch out, headphone users. It's louder now. Better? Yes. All right. Sounds great to me. Thanks, Steve. You ready, Last Dance? Paca, what up, dog? The Meat Man. See, senor? I didn't see a yes or no, so I'm getting you on there. All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. If you're there, you're good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
I'm a little tired today. I don't know why. I mean, we'll see how I do, but
all that relaxing all week really got to
yeah, it was all that not going to work and not having to lift stuff and having to think that really wore me out.
Yeah, I hear that. Last night every night this week I was tired, but I got to sleep probably 9.5 hours, so that made a big difference as opposed to my usual like 7. So I should be pretty good for tonight.
Cool.
Does make a difference, you miss that sleep for a few nights in a row. It's like a bank, when you're short an hour for multiple nights, it's almost the same as being short like 4 hours. You know what I mean? It like adds up. At least it does for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall from your working days, what were you needing to be good the next day for sleep? Like 8, 7, 6?
7 was enough. 6 was enough, but 7 I was more functional, more effective.
Yeah, see, 7's not enough for me. I'm like an 8-hour guy.
Yeah.
So what do you think, like, in your opinion, do you think there was imminent danger from Iran?
It depends how you define imminent, but I think the way most people define it, no,
Okay.
There wasn't imminent danger. There were imminent enough issues that I think people can make up their own decision about whether X, Y, or Z constitutes an imminent enough threat to have a military attack. One thing you have to keep in mind is that if you're going to attack somebody because their nuclear weapons program has advanced too far, in other words, if your red line is that they cannot possess nuclear weapons, then you really have to attack them before they possess nuclear weapons.
Sure.
And they're not going to tell you the exact date on which they're going to possess nuclear weapons so as you can wait till the last possible minute to attack them. So whenever I'm saying things like that, I'm not trying to justify the attack. Just noting that you really can't wait until you're absolutely positive that the next day they will have nuclear weapons. You have to attack sometime sooner.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, this attack is way late in terms of preventing them from knowing and acquiring short breakout capability for bomb grade uranium.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bomb grade uranium is not enough to make a weapon. You need to have something called the physics package, which takes the bomb grade uranium and makes it into a warhead. And then you also need a very hard part is putting it on a weapon that it can be delivered. And if that weapon, they don't have any long range bombers, so
to affect us, but they do have short range ICBMs. They can
yes,
certainly
they do.
strike Europe.
Yes, and they're developing longer and longer range ICBMs.
Hmm.
And they appear to have a nascent space program, which is essentially all you need to deliver an ICB, to deliver a warhead anywhere on the planet. They probably do not have a miniaturized warhead designed, because we would have detected that if
Well,
they had.
after the major explosion from some months back when we blew up that mountain, it appeared that there was something like, I don't know the exact number, between 100 and 400 pounds of uranium that was unaccounted for. That was 60% refined.
Yeah.
Is that right?
60%. They had 400 kilograms of 60%.
Oh, so that's
enriched
close to
uranium.
900 pounds.
Yes, they had a lot of highly enriched but below bomb grade uranium. But they had also enriched a tiny sample of it just to prove to themselves. There's this enrichment game involves technical hurdles that have to be solved, and once you solve them, you now know how to go to the next step. You sort of, it's the technical achievement of solving them that puts you on the map. And if you wanted to have a breakout capability for bomb grade uranium, you would first test the ability to do so on a small sample. And knowing that you'd probably get caught, you have to come up with an excuse. And that's exactly what the Iranians did. They enriched a small sample to upwards of 84%, which is just a tiny bit below the amount that is considered necessary for an actual bomb. I think 90% is considered the typical target for a weapon. So they had enriched a small amount.
How much is a small amount?
I think maybe a gram.
Oh, Jesus. And you need how much in volume to make a decent explosion?
Probably 25,000 grams.
Okay. So that would be 25 kilograms.
25 kilograms, yeah.
Times 2.2. So you'd be looking at somewhere 58 pounds or so, somewhere in that zone.
And that's the smaller number, I think, assuming I'm not sure. I think that assumes a certain amount of efficiency. If you have a less efficient weapon, like the gun type atomic bomb, the first one we dropped in Hiroshima, you might double that amount to 50 or maybe 60 kilograms.
Do you know what does the enriching process entail?
I'm not an expert, but they have gas centrifuges that there's the technology they use, and they're connected in stages, and each stage gets the output from a previous stage. So it's a lot like it's a lot like moonshining. Basically, you produce. You might have one stage that produces 70%, might go from 60% to 63% or something. And then that 63% feeds into the next stage. And then it might go from 63 to 66% and so on. And the more stages, the higher the purity.
So is enriching actually refining?
It's another word for it. It's refining.
Okay, so you're actually removing impurities.
You're removing the low grade, the uranium-238, and you be left with the the fissile uranium-235.
Heavy. That's wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, RW?
I'm alive.
What was this about? Some Indian food?
He said an ICBM. I was just trying to make sure what that was.
Well, I see. All right. It was a joke. I get it.
Icy bowel movement. That's what that is.
Yes.
Don saying hi. Hi, Don.
Yes.
Hey, Don.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Crazy!
How is tomorrow? Is it any better?
Yeah, anything crazy happen overnight that we missed? Nuts. Yeah, what do you think, RW? In your perception, were we in some sort of imminent danger from Iran?
I don't think. I'll answer it this way. I think that the United States saw an opportunity to cripple its opponents' economies and take out what it considered to be a threat, and they jumped at the opportunity.
Mhm.
When Iran was showing civil unrest and its civilians interested in regime change or something else, the United States put on its cape and went over and blew some shit up.
I mean, yeah, the perception for me is it was a hellhole of a country that literally was hanging. They hung protesters to death in front of their families just recently. I mean, people who did nothing more than basically peacefully protest, but I can't apply my own, ideals to another country. So I have to kind of, like, at some point, these countries have humanitarian issues. That's not why we attack them. So, though, they are shit. I can't stand the leadership and the way they treat their own population, and their population doesn't want to be led by them predominantly, but there's certainly a faction of people that like it. Why? I have no fucking idea. So that kind of, like, you have to sort of put the dirty part of it, like, I guess, aside and say the real reason has to be, are they a threat? Were they a threat before we attacked them? And did we neutralize or at best heavily minimalize that threat? And my answer to that is they weren't yet, but they would become one, obviously. So, and then last dance, your thought earlier was, well, you don't wait for them to become one. You act before they can fucking shoot some shit at New York City or Washington, D.C. or whatever, well before then.
The opportunity
Or
arose.
or Israel, or one of our bases in some Gulf Coast country.
Right.
I mean, you guys, you're looking at this, Steve, from like a personal lens. I'm not looking at the morals and ethics from a personal lens. I'm looking at it from the lens of a superpower. I don't think a superpower looks at world peace as a sit back and relax situation. I think it looks at it as a, what can I get away with? Is this a good opportunity?
I'd also like to make an argument against this attack and this war.
Sure.
And, realistically, here's what's probably going to happen. This bombing campaign will go on for a while. There will not be regime change. I don't think that's what Trump has in mind. I mean, I don't think he has regime change like we did in Iraq, where you send in a ground troops and take the capital. So, I think they will survive this bombing campaign. And once it's clear that it's reached some sort of a stalemate, we'll stop, and then they'll reconstitute everything. The point is, they actually know how to build centrifuges. They know every step of the way. They know how to do everything they need to do to build uranium enrichment, and it will take them a fraction of the time even if they have to start from scratch. It will take them a fraction of the time to reconstitute their program. So given that there's not going to be regime change, given that Iran and this regime and their foreign policy will be in the same spot probably in 4 or 5 years, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later, what really is the point? You're at some point you're going to have to figure out a way to live with or contain or otherwise deal with a nuclear armed Iran, or at least an Iran that can become a nuclear armed Iran by almost just by flipping a switch. And we've managed to survive North Korea being that kind of a country. You know, it's not good. It's a long-term terrible threat that we have to face, but there's really, in some sense, you know, unless you become, unless you take over the world, you know, that's going to happen.
Pinky in the brain, man.
I mean, the difference being, though, there's no, there's at least significantly less of a religious motivation with North Korea and, you know, the whole martyrdom thing.
Yeah, I agree, but I would also argue that North Korea is less predictable than Iran and much more difficult to negotiate with. In fact, Iran is fairly predictable, fairly understandable, fairly rational compared to a lot of countries.
I challenge. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you said. Sorry about that, but they seem to be attacking random shit. I don't understand why they're attacking certain nations around them. I don't know what. It doesn't make sense to me. It's irrational.
I'm not sure what they were attacking exactly. I mean, I could think of reasons why they would do it.
Nations that don't have an embassy or a consulate or a U.S. presence.
Well, if you want, you know, if you want to bleed support from basically non-democratic governments, you could just scare their leadership.
Support for the USA, or you're saying it's false flags and making it look like Iran?
No, it's Iran. They want the UAE or Dubai, etc. They want those countries to do everything they can to stop the U.S. From this course of action. And one way to do it is to make it clear that they will also pay a price if they simply stand on. There's no standing on the sidelines.
But the price, to me, it seems to be motivating them to crush Iran.
Yeah, no, it can definitely backfire. In fact, it has a high probability of backfiring. So I think they've decided to stop doing it. I'm not sure what I don't know. Iran almost always acts, they're almost always playing chess. Nothing they do is an accident. It's all part of a well-planned scheme. So
it seems like they've had a lot of their capabilities destroyed.
That can't be helped. And I think they always knew that.
So, I mean, what is the long-term goal? I mean, to me, it's death throes. It's not strategy.
Well, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the clerical theocracy in Iran. So I would certainly hope that this was the end of it. But, you know, I don't think so.
Did you see that Trump doesn't want the Kurds to push in? Kurds want to push, and Trump doesn't want them in there.
I didn't see that.
And did you hear his comment that on the way back home he's going to go after Cuba?
Yeah, I did.
Don't want to waste a good armament, right?
Yeah, right.
Efficient. I do not want to see that happen. I don't. And Cuba, do they have nuclear capabilities?
They do not.
They do not. But
I think countries like China and Russia would be far more likely to intervene for Cuba than for Iran, personally.
Why?
Well, I believe we reached an agreement with the Soviet Union to avert the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I believe that agreement was to leave Cuba alone in perpetuity. So, you can argue that Russia didn't inherit the agreements we made with the Soviet Union, but I think we've generally operated, and Russia has generally operated, as though they did inherit those agreements.
Why would they come to Cuba's aid more than Iran? Because of locale. Russia is right next to Iran. So
I was thinking of the Cuban Missile Crisis and that historical relationship. I don't, the modern Iran, what was it, 1978 with the Arab uprising? That's really when modern Iran came to play. Is Iran considered a communist country as well?
No,
I don't think
Cuba
so.
is. China is. Russia is. Well, I mean,
no,
yeah.
Russia isn't considered a
Well,
communist.
I mean, historically, of course, since the Great Division and the whatever,
You're
what was it,
missing the marks. Just
the 90s.
You're
I
off the mark.
consider them. I consider them to be siding with communist, if not communist.
Yeah, Russia is a strange beast for sure.
I don't understand the risk versus reward for Cuba. What does Cuba offer these nations that they really want to feel the heat for it?
Who says anybody wants to come to Cuba's defense?
No, I'm trying to think along Steve's rationale of history and them being there for them then. If I was like a superpower and there's an island way over there that didn't really do anything for me, but it was also in the same political leaning, I'd be like, good luck, buddy. Wouldn't touch it.
Well, so you're wondering why Russia, why the Soviet Union took such risks to try and help Cuba out?
Well, at that point in time, it was to have a strike distance from the United States, correct?
And not just that, that's true, but also to prevent the U.S. from overthrowing the Castro regime.
Why did they care about the Castro regime?
Because this is a communist government, and it's not just, at least it wasn't then, just about, feeding the people and having a jobs program. It was about spreading your ideology to a global, worldwide.
Well, do you think Cuba really was able to push Marxist ideologies onto the United States? Like, do you think that protecting them was able to benefit that movement?
No, I don't think it was it was what Soviet Union was doing was keeping the gain of Cuba into the communist column, preventing that from being reversed by a U.S. invasion or a U.S. organized overthrow.
But now they have the internet, so I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, there was the American Communist Party. It was
Gus Hall. Yep.
small, but it was there. I mean,
Yeah, there's probably much more communism now in the United States than there ever was when the Soviet Union was a superpower.
you mean like per capita now?
Well, per capita
Conscious-
and
like,
absolute
we're
numbers.
talking conscious communism, not
Yes.
not like ultra liberal commies.
No, I mean real communists.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting. I hope Trump doesn't just. I hope that it ends here with this Iran thing. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope it does too, but I really do believe that on the way back, he's going to take advantage of his army or navy or whatever.
And by on the way back, do you mean when they leave Iran and they're cruising back, they take a detour down to Cuba? And
Absolutely.
literally rain hell
Literally what I'm
down
saying.
there.
Yeah,
like steak and lobster on the boat back. But hey, guys, one more quick thing. We're going to overthrow Cuba and then you're done. I promise.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I see. I think, first of all, it would be a mistake because I think Cuba is more than willing to negotiate in good faith with the United States. And I do think there are things we can ask of Cuba that they might be willing to agree to in exchange for lifting the embargo or the sanctions on Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, we could ask them to stop sending troops and advisors to foreign locations. In other words, stop trying to export communism. You know, we had to fight a Cuban battalion in Venezuela when we invaded there.
Right. Those are the ones that we saw, the tiny boxes, which were probably symbolic that they brought back.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, the embargo or the sanctions on Cuba are really a Cold War relic.
So can't they negotiate in good faith with two strike groups off their coast?
Who you say, Cuba or Trump?
Cuba, both of them sitting out at the table together, hanging out, having some lobster and fish, whatever.
There's there's never been a doubt that we could, invade Cuba and take it over in a heartbeat. It's just a tiny
technology.
It's a tiny country.
Yeah. It just seems comical to me to have it on the list because I didn't realize they were even a problem anymore. I thought they were just some backwards, time warped nation off our coast.
Well, they're time warped because of our embargo.
Right.
Yeah. Although it's odd, the embargo does have. It's not. It's perhaps it's less effective than people who aren't familiar with it assume, but it's more effective than just our refusing to trade with them. So it's nobody else obeys our embargo. It's really just us.
Right. They can get Chinese cars and
Canada,
Korean cars.
Robust trade with them. The European Union does, and so forth. The problem is that there is a lot of hesitancy in companies that deal with the United States to avoid the sanctions regime. There are probably foreign companies that would just be happy trading with Cuba that won't do it because it could get them, because of the way the sanctions, especially the financial aspect of the sanctions, is implemented, it could get them in trouble with the United States, and they just don't want to take that chance. It's just not worth, business-wise, it's just not worth it. So, if we were to drop the embargo, for example, or drop the financial aspect of the sanctions, if our only part of the embargo is that we refuse to trade with Cuba, I think there would be a substantial increase in trade between everybody else and Cuba.
I really don't understand why we still have the trade embargo at this point.
Yeah, you could say it's because of the influence of Florida Cubans, who are very anti-communist, very anti-Cuban regime.
Because they escaped it? Because they escaped it?
Because they escaped it, and it's kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, like an article of faith amongst them that someday they will always do everything they can to attempt to overthrow the Castro and whatever followed him. And so, they are as devoted to it. I would have thought by now, after 2 or 3 generations, that there would just be no more interest in it. Apparently there is still interest in it, even amongst the current generation, which is kind of bizarre.
What about as empirical expansion point, taking it like they're talking about Greenland and whatever else.
Well, I still think they have to get around I believe that the treaty in which we agreed to Russia, the Soviet Union agreed to remove nuclear missiles from Cuba, that we would not invade or topple the Cuban regime in exchange. I still think we'd have to violate that agreement, and I don't know that we're so willing to do that.
I mean, it's not like Putin has a good contract optics at the moment himself.
I mean, yeah, you could say that Russia, you'd be right. Russia is not the threat that the Soviet Union was, not even a shadow of it. But
just to how he looks when it comes to his own contracts with neighboring countries.
Yeah, I don't know. I would hope that we would not dismiss. I don't think she was Cuban.
Why are you saying she?
Oh,
So sexist.
yeah, I am sexist. I don't deny it.
It's all
I'm proud
good.
of it. I would hope that we would not dismiss agreements, even though we could, because we're the biggest, the biggest dog in the pack.
So you think Cubans who've successfully emigrated to America, emigrated from Cuba, immigrated to America, are heavily in favor of overthrowing like the Cuban regime, government, that sort of thing?
I think so. I haven't seen a recent poll. The previous generation certainly was. It's possible that there is just they exert some outsized influence for reasons that nobody can quite explain.
You mean like local politicians, and then that gets up to federal level somehow?
Yeah, I mean, but you'd say at most they influence the Florida delegation of senators and congressmen, and that's just one state. It's a fairly large state, but it's not even close to the largest. So it has influence, but to kind of force continuing a sanctions regime that has long since outlived its usefulness, I don't see why.
Aphidlip, how are you?
Cheers, gentlemen.
Hey, man.
Cheers.
Mm-mm-mm.
Is that a black top or whatever the hell you drink there?
Black top, sure.
Shot top.
What do you got?
I got you. Black top.
Black top.
Great name. Well, in the middle of summer, when I get that smell waft across my face,
That's right.
It makes me think of nothing more than a cold beer.
You got a new koozie there?
Same one I've been using forever.
Okay. Just there's less can visible at the top. I can only see a smidge.
Yeah.
You're a big koozie guy, are you, huh?
These, I'm telling you, man, these metal kind, they really keep a beer. I like a cold beer. Not a beer that was cold 5 minutes ago. I like a cold beer. And these do the best at keeping it cold.
Do you have to unscrew something to get the old one out and get the new one in?
That's right. Yeah.
Look at all that work. Come on, who wants to do that?
And it slides right
unscrewing
in.
15 times
It's
a night.
basically just like, ooh, that's gross looking in there. It's basically just like a Yeti.
No, we got a dog. We just saw a dog.
Well, cinnamon.
Is that cinnamon?
Yeah.
Look a little smaller.
Cinnamon.
Come here, girl. And it might have been Chip because he's sitting over here too.
No, I think it was cinnamon.
Was shaved short hair.
Yeah, that's cinnamon. She's a big girl.
All right, let's see. Lee's
Well over
spouting
100
off here.
pounds.
Lee said, let's see what he said. Trump pissed off Starmer. Okay. Well, I saw Starmer folded. Starmer, I mean, you guys Lee, are a lot closer to Iran than we are. I would think it would be in there. Once it's rolling at this point, I feel like, and this goes into the government vote thing that they were going to try to whatever stymie the president's ability for spending.
Yeah.
At this point, it would just hurt the military. Like, we're rolling. Let them cook. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking.
Yeah, but I'm so sick of. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I probably agree with it to a certain extent. But I am just so sick of all these unilateral executive actions that, you know, Congress should be in the middle of, instead of not having anything at all to do or say about it.
He's pissed off at the UK because we asked him for a staging point and they declined it. And then 2 weeks after the fact, they allowed it. He said, no, thanks.
Yeah, and it was, I believe, Churchill himself that said there's a special relationship reserved for the United States and Great Britain, and, you know, from World War II.
Yeah, it's almost like they earned it.
Unlike any other relationship they have, less than 100 years ago, you know? So
is it kind of like a thankful relationship because we saved their ass?
I wouldn't characterize.
It's much closer than that. It's a close integration of military and foreign policy and intelligence, and just quite a close relationship.
I saw an article, I think I posted it in the news channel, about someone doing a dig into the size of the Royal Navy, and it's incredibly tiny. And they don't even have enough military men to quickly board boats and be sea ready.
Well, that's true. The countries, they don't have enough military to take on the only realistic threat, which is Russia. But the whole plan of these countries is to band together, these European countries. That's what NATO is. So that no one country needs to be able to, stand off, hold the Russians off for any length of time. It's a NATO. It's NATO. So, the problem is that Trump he's kind of rubbing the European countries' face in their weakness, which I kind of secretly, or maybe not so secretly, like to see. But is it really productive? It feels good, but is it really productive? I'm not sure.
Is Starmer considered a lame duck or whatever it would be for their leadership? Someone that's not going to be around much longer, so it doesn't matter anymore.
The Brits have a different system, so he could be gone quickly, but he could be here for a while too.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like he's here for the long haul.
It just, to me, seems like he's being treated like an insignificant individual, not a serious player. Not that I agree or don't agree with that. It's just that's how I view the United States, or Trump in particular, treating him as an individual or nation.
Well, he's a woke globalist fucking asshole who doesn't care about his country. I mean,
tell us how you really feel.
I mean, that's what he doesn't care about. Brits. He cares about everybody. He doesn't put his own people ahead of anybody else, which is a damn shame. Should be Britons first. That's the ones that are there, the legacy people who born and raised there, but hey, what do I know? I've learned a lot from a lot of the guys here. He won't get past May elections, is what Lee says.
Okay. Well, you might as well live it up then.
Yeah.
Have you guys, this is a slightly different, but have you guys seen in your feeds a lot of Islamophobic posts for New York City? Like a lot of people making up and spinning stories about the New York police ignoring or not pushing back on Islamic crime.
Like what Islamic crime?
Like Islamists on horseback pushing into people, chasing after people, screaming Zionists and trying to kill them, like that type of stuff.
I'd love to watch as a spectacle people on horseback harassing other people.
I don't think I don't think any of these have credible sources, but what is credible is that society is spinning that fear right now. So I looked into Mamdani a little bit to see what's going on with him, and they're complaining that his wife was liking posts about October 7 against Israel, and which is, I mean, okay. But the most interesting thing I found is that he's going to shut down a massive homeless shelter. It stores like 250 men. It can house 250, and he's shutting it down. I'm not sure why that would be necessary. I mean, to save money, I guess, but doesn't
So they
seem
could
like
sleep on the street and in the parks. What a brilliant move!
not. Besides money, I don't know unless he wants that building for something different. But it doesn't look in ill repair. So we'll see some interesting stuff by the end of the year in our own country, because of one, people's perspective of Islam in New York City, thinking it's being taken over, and two, just what the hell he's going to do as a governor with the resources that they have.
Aphid, you got anything to add, buddy?
What happened?
Are you listening?
What? I'm sorry. Where am I?
Well, I'm just trying to include you. You don't have to speak.
About Mamdani? Yeah,
Yeah,
have much to
Mamdani.
say.
And the
Danny.
overall anti-Muslim Islam sentiment that RW is seeing.
I will say that it seems like, well, no, it doesn't seem like it. It's my belief that elected officials are a good litmus test, not always, but most of the time, of where that demographic is at that point in time.
But the demographic of New York is not overwhelmingly Muslim. It's
No, but I'm not saying every detail down to the finite, but like, you know, I saw somebody Topo maybe was saying how UK, you know, keeps getting these woke leaders. So I think that Mamdani is a good, you know, that's why he was elected, because he's a good representative of what the people want, you know, free
shit.
They want to be taken care of, you know.
Right. Yeah, no. That part of it, you're right about for sure.
Where in America, you know, overall, you know, the whole, you know, we're lately more so than in the past, recent memory, that, you know, we're behind Trump, you know, and that's the direction that the majority, he says the stuff that they want to hear, you know, so that's the way that the people that vote him in, the majority, want.
But when he's shutting down their free shit, I don't know if they're feeling the same vibes. Like, hey,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's the United States. You know, we're talking about New York, a small part. You know, I'm not saying Trump is how every little area feels, but overall, the percentage of it, that is
right. I think that this homeless shelter is a interesting pivot point, perhaps, where they're going to get to see that these free things that they already have established are being taken away from them instead of more free things being given to them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this homeless shelter situation, but it harkens back to a scenario that happened in, I want to say it was Roxbury or Mattapan. There was a very big, expensive community shelter built by the city of Boston, community center, which did have homeless services as well as gyms and, you know, basketball courts and whatever, all kinds of places for kids to go after school, for people to go for shelter, whatever, that they ended up closing down to the residents and giving it to illegals, which and that was obviously done under the leadership of Mayor Michelle Wu, which she's cut from the same cloth as Mamdani. all the way. So, there's another strange aspect to the whole Mondami thing. What is Mondami playing Trump? Because Trump seems to be have this little infatuation with the guy.
Are you talking about the meeting they had like months ago?
No, I'm just he refers to him like he likes him, and when he mentions him, he mentions him glowingly. Just find
I
it
don't
kind of
understand
odd.
that. Before that, there's a lot of shit talking, and then they met, and then they're bros.
It's very odd.
I don't get that. I don't understand politics when it comes to jerking each other off under the table. So,
I mean, it's just accepted. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Trump's just an odd character. Sometimes he latches on to some of these people that he is diametrically opposed to politically, but likes them for other reasons. I don't really understand it, but
well, he finally let go of one of his cabinet members.
Yeah,
I am all for that.
Wife sent me a text the other day that said cosplay Barbie is out, and I thought within my head was thinking, she said cosplay Barbie is out.
Right. I thought that was Bondi.
I don't know who it is. I thought she meant that's a movie. I was thinking, is that a movie? Did they release a cosplay Barbie movie? But apparently that's who they referred to Noam as, which I didn't know that. Hey, look, it's this guy. Never seen him in the chat, really. Rarely, maybe.
I've been bugging him.
Or Orange Jeep TJ.
Orange Jeep, I do recognize the name, but a rare visitor.
Just like an orange Jeep is rare.
Yeah, he is very attracted to someone on the panel. I can't remember who it was exactly.
Space Kang. Why does Space Kang have an M?
What?
M.
Oh, that's. I won't mention the reasoning for that.
Okay, because Lee has an L, obviously. Anyone who doesn't pick it, I always thought it was the first letter of. Okay, yeah, then we can,
we can move on with the next topic. So, I'm glad that Noam got kicked out, the cosplay Barbie or whatever it was. We had an intense conversation about that last week. There's different views on, or not differing views, but a lot of us had a strong feeling towards her actions were not okay. And apparently that was true enough to enough people that she was actually removed from her position. Unless it was for some other reason, and I'm not aware of that. I'm pretty sure it had to do with how she handled Alex Preddy.
I think it had to do with the money that she spent on things, and then her saying that Donald Trump knew about the outrageously humongous budget that she was spending money on. I think her plane was included in that. And I think Trump was pissed that he was mentioned, that he implicated in that.
I see. I didn't know anything about that.
I don't think Trump gives two shits about what she said about Preddy or Good.
Really?
I think he only really cares about when he was mentioned, and it made him look bad personally.
Oh, that's depressing.
Well, and her actions were starting to make him look bad too.
Yeah,
I'm sure that didn't help.
Like, you're making me work more. Fuck that.
Yeah, I would say you're right. RW, let me change my statement. He cares about it, right, because eventually it makes him look bad. So, yeah, he has to care about her looking like an idiot when she's up there spouting off nonsense. Whether or not it was a lie or untrue or whatever it was, it reminds me of when shit happens most of the time and they have a press conference, they say things like, we really don't know yet. It's still under investigation.
Right.
Very common.
That's the status quo.
She fucking goes out and says something that's so specific that nobody knew anything about it yet. The only way you could say that is if somebody it was in the action of doing it, then you could say, well, logically we could see that was what was happening. But in the case of Preddy, it's a very dynamic thing that and frankly, we still haven't heard anything. What about this, like, negligent discharge, accidental discharge? That was floating around for a while, or
How long? I mean, when we talked about the bridge crash with the boat, it was like a year or something, close to a year before we got to have information on an investigation.
that's Last Dance's area, literally. So
I'm not expecting any information personally for a long time, but I do look forward to it.
I mean, you're dealing with an international ship hitting a bridge. Of course, there's going to be a lot more to it as opposed to something that happened all on camera right there with limited amount of people involved. The
But
investigation shouldn't take a year.
But at the same time, it's information that can make the federal government look bad. So wouldn't it also be possible that they can make that crawl?
What's going to make the federal government look bad?
How they handled the Alex Preddy situation?
Well,
You mean literally him ending up dead, or
How? Yeah,
or the PR afterward.
that as well. The whole thing, all of it.
Yeah. Well, it'll make. You could say it'll make the federal government look bad. I think it'll make ICE look bad, and whatever department those agents were from. Were they ICE or Customs and Border Patrol?
Border Patrol, I believe.
Yeah, it'll make them look bad.
So, do they have the ability to make investigations crawl if the information?
Oh, for sure.
Just
They do. That's why Congress, in the past, has done their own independent investigations.
I think that the information on the strike on the school in Iran is going to take a very long time to come out too. Because if it does make us look bad, there's no reason to rush that information.
real quick here, wife says they're going to replace Noam with Mark Wayne Mullen. Do you remember when the Teamsters were being questioned by, I think it was by Congress for something? I can't remember the exact scenario, but at one point, this Mark Wayne Mullen character challenges the president of the Teamsters to go outside, and they start fucking jawing back and forth. Did you ever guys remember this? And of all people, fucking Bernie Sanders is like, okay, everybody calm down, sit down. We're not doing this here. It was the most bizarre.
I didn't see that.
That Last Dance, did you catch that?
No, I don't remember that, or I vaguely remember it at best.
Do you know anything about this guy that's replacing Noam? I don't know anything about him.
That's Mark Wayne Mullen. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. So you're saying that in his past he was about to get into a knuckle fight?
Yeah, but it's in. I'll play it right now.
Okay. I mean, if he can keep his mouth shut and just use his fists, it's still probably better.
Is it short okay? Because the regular ones are longer.
What do you mean? Okay.
A short is a vertical, and then
Yeah.
okay, here we go. This one looks good.
Oh, it's resurfacing because he's now taking the seat. I see.
Correct. Let's see if I remember how to work this thing.
Is he a Marine? Like, what's his background? Street fighter?
He
was like a
he was in the UFC.
UFC, that's it. UFC.
He was a fighter.
He
Really?
was in, I'm sorry, MMA. I don't know if he was actually ever made it to UFC level.
I
But
feel
he
like
was in
that's what I
MMA.
read, but it was UFC. Maybe it was just MMA.
Play.
Right to work states versus forced work states. I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. You want to run your mouth? We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution, every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't,
This
no,
is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
I'm so old.
This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough of contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and
You-
bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
time.
you because you just
Hold it.
described yourself.
Hold it.
Tiny
You have
hammer.
the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you and I accepted your challenge and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet.
All right, that's enough of these two fucking idiots. But I mean, that's the guy.
What-
He,
What a clown.
I don't know.
I-
Is this sarcasm?
I disagree. I think that is completely irrelevant to anything that matters.
No, it's not. It's irrelevant, but it's silly. It's comical. It's worth seeing in the sense of like, look at these jackasses. But
Well, I think he was really pissed.
I think
Yeah.
Bernie should let him take him out. I think that would have been better feed.
I mean,
There's
it's
two consenting adults, right? Doesn't that then void?
Now
Yeah.
they could have actually made an appointment in the ring.
well,
That would have been legal.
There's probably some fucking 200-year-old law that they could have actually had a duel or something outside.
Yeah, in Bladensburg.
I mean,
Single fire musket pistol,
Right.
whatever.
From a
Uh,
case.
Yeah.
but I don't know anything other than that about the guy. I really know nothing about him. So he's a senator, right?
Apparently.
Yeah. He's a senator.
Is he in a solid red district? Are they going to have? Is he can't retain his role as senator? So how do they deal with that voting wise?
They'll just give it to a Democrat.
I think he's from Oklahoma.
Mhm.
So I think Oklahoma has a Republican governor. They'll just appoint.
So it's a short-term appointment till the next voting
Until the
cycle.
next election. Yeah.
And I wonder, is he on a 26 vote or a 28 vote? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think that it's going to be fun to watch him take reporters' questions in the near future. They're going to have really long microphones. I'll tell you that.
Well, what he should do is he should have actual press conferences in the middle of a
UFC
boxing
ring.
ring
In the cage.
or in the cage. Yeah.
I'll tell
Next
you one thing.
question.
That behavior right there doesn't make me think he's gonna behave any better than Kristi Noem did in the scenario that we were just discussing regarding what she said about Preddy. I don't see this guy who we just watched as being some like very articulate legal scholar who's going to dodge and weave his way around things without saying anything. To me, it seems
Well,
like
I'm not looking for a legal scholar or necessarily someone who's articulate. I'd settle for someone who is honest.
Oh, man. Could you imagine?
No.
No, I can't either, but that'd be fantastic.
yeah, I guess
It shows he has
I find that to be impossible. So I want somebody who's smart, who can at least feign honesty or at least not say the things that like she said in the moment that were seemingly so foolish. Avid Lip, you were saying?
I mean, it shows he has poor judgment, if anything, and or at least did, in that
A
moment.
large ego.
I don't know if it says that he's going to be, honest or dishonest about the goings on of, whoever shoots who.
Right. So having a large ego doesn't mean doesn't have honest integrity. Like that's a different subject. But if someone challenges his ego or talks shit about him from the questioning stands, like his track record shows he's already to solve it the old fashioned way.
And he showed his card too. So if you want to get a response out of him and you're a reporter,
Yeah, there you go.
you know which buttons to press to get him.
Right.
I think he should go on Alex Jones live streams, answer questions.
Yeah, I don't know. Alex Jones.
He's
Go on.
also a member of the Cherokee Nation, I believe.
All right,
Mark Wade Mullen.
Smoke Wife, are
Yeah.
you saying that he's a Christian nationalist? Because I have no awareness of that.
Yeah, he's an enrolled citizen of the Cherokee Nation and one of 4 Native Americans serving in the Congress. I believe.
Please don't say Elizabeth Warren's one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe Elizabeth Warren. So we've got 50% of. We know who the Native Americans are.
Interesting.
All I can say is how.
Have
Get
all
it.
you guys
I get
seen anything else we want to get out of this particular subject?
I don't
We've
even know what that
drained it dry.
I got something else to add. So between Florida and Texas, there is approximately 3.5 to 4 million illegals. And in
Okay.
Minnesota, there was in the multiple hundreds of thousands. Why would ICE be focusing on Minnesota and not Florida and or Texas, where there's higher populations, granted, but way higher populations of illegals? Are they going on a percentage of populations to the percentage of the illegal population? Like,
How do we know they are focusing on Minnesota?
well, they
Not-
were.
not
They
just
were.
Minnesota.
There was a focus on Minnesota for some reason.
Well, it's a sanctuary city, correct?
I think there's a media focus on Minnesota. I'll bet ICE is just not encountering the same kind of left-wing resistance that they encounter in Minneapolis elsewhere. I'll bet they're doing the same thing, though.
They are, but they're not doing it in the numbers that they were doing it, that they were using there.
Is it pushing back on sanctuary cities? Is it like sending a
There,
message?
then that would, if that is the case, then that would be the only reason I could think of is to sanctuary cities issue.
Is it just the sanctuary cities, or is it possibly the fact that they don't want to do it in Florida and Texas, where a lot of the business owners who employ these illegals might be benefiting financially from them and might be Trump voters or Republican, and it might harm them. So they're happier to harm people in states that aren't Republican or Trump voters than they are.
I doubt that, and I would bet that the states that have the most illegals have the most deportations of illegals. But I can't prove that, obviously.
Yeah, I asked, was there a higher percentage of ICE in Minnesota? And the answer is yes. As of 2026, Minnesota has experienced a significant record high increase in U.S. immigrations and customs enforcement activity centered in the Twin Cities and surrounding suburbs. I can go on if you want me to.
I mean, if you just ask it why, what was the reason?
Yeah, but they don't. That's not. They can't. I mean, it's not. It's just going to give an opinion. I mean,
yes, it'll
it's not like.
speculate.
Well, I mean, we can all.
Well, they'd
speculate.
have to.
Yes, we can. I mean, it's very possible, to your thought, Steve, that politically, the Trump is playing favorites. It's possible, but I would have to see evidence behind that with that reasoning. I haven't seen anything, and I feel like that would have popped up like bold print if that was found.
I
Because
would bet that
Trump-
there are statements that will say, you know, he it's not like he's great at holding his cards. I'm sure he has said, you know,
But
I'm sure he said, let's slip that the sanctuary city stuff, for example, is what really pisses him off. Other than that, I can't think of any other reason.
I would guess this stems from, first putting people into Washington, D.C., and then, he had threats of California and I forgot where else. And then I bet somewhere in him talking about that, he said that he was going to send more agents up to Minnesota. And for the same reason, he was, because it just only, he feels, I don't know if it's true or not, that it makes, like Pritzker look bad, if he sends them into Chicago, makes him look weak, and same thing with Minnesota.
Well, I do feel, I don't know if this is his motivation, but I do feel that places that are sort of holding out as a resistance and harboring illegal aliens do deserve to have their efforts thwarted.
Right.
Now,
They're openly in defiance.
It's
Yeah,
almost comical. They're like, in their efforts, they're making it worse for the illegals that are there.
well,
Like the illegals are all like wearing Trump hats. They're like, shut up, just don't say anything. You know?
Trump is muy bueno.
Right, exactly.
yeah. I mean, that's the other possible way for Trump to view it is that these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states are just harming themselves because their taxpayers will have to pay for services for illegal aliens. And in the long term, that probably is not going to stay popular.
There was interesting information that came out of the Minnesota event. I mean, people died and there was issues here and there, but the Leering centers, the fraud, the auditing of the situation up there, I think was beneficial to the United States people to see what their tax money's what's happening with their tax money. If that shit's happening in Minnesota, that shit's happening in other states to a high degree.
I'll add this guy in. We know him. How are you, Hells?
Hello.
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
All right.
Pretty good. We're using AI tonight to have as our talking points. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I thought Aphid you were an AI virgin. Looks like you popped your cherry.
No, I
there.
told you. I told you the other day. I said that I think I've been using it more than I thought because especially when I was searching for my car. You know, it was like gold. It was like. But I think people, you know, that's the point I was trying to make was that I think people, you know, they hear these data centers and, you know, it's like, I really think it's like the new GMO, you know, people, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, it was like, you can't say GMO without getting slapped in the face.
It's the GMO.
And now it's data center. If you say data center, you know,
data centers, they're ruining America.
I'm going to the town hall meeting because they ain't coming here. I'll be damned.
I was giving hell shit because he likes to hang out with other humans and hear human thoughts. So
I'm kind of anti-AI in many respects, but at the same time, I do find it amusing that everyone acts like the new thing going out right now is totally different with them, whatever existed. It's not. LLMs have existed forever. I mean, Google as a search platform is basically machine learning the same way that the crap that we're dealing with now. There's not much of a difference. It's like a higher level function of what's always existed. We call it artificial intelligence. It's not. It's not artificial intelligence. It's just the label that's slapped on it to make it pretty and market it. But
I think it's the accessibility and the saturation that's what's futuristic right now about it. It's integrating into absolutely everything all the time.
Yeah. And it's also much more capable. Whereas before I would have to like Google, like, hey Google, like where do I buy a pot of flowers in my area or something, and it would come up with something. Now you can ask it like complex questions, like, hey Google, like is on a Bonatarski's paradox real or not, and do we live in a simulation? You can ask it that, and it can actually.
And also, where are these flowers?
I imagine Nolansville near me, their nursery would be the answer Google would give me. If not, a Home Depot or Lowe's or something. But yeah.
Being with your background as a veteran, I'm curious what your view is of the United States conflict or intervention in Iran. Do you back it? Are you against it? Are you indifferent?
Okay, let me add another thing. Like the question I posed to everybody was there an imminent threat? That
I would to combine those. I would say, was there an imminent threat? I would say no. I would say that there was an ongoing threat. The difference in there being was there's something about to happen. I don't think that there was about to be something new happening. I think that there was an ongoing pattern of terrible things being done by that nation. I don't think that there was imminent. I think it was happening and happening and happening and happening, and finally now they got stepped on. I am very heavily in support of it, and it's also, I think, something that's is to consider is that like with Venezuela, you had a bunch of nations speaking out, being like, "Hey, this isn't okay. Holy crap, you're overreaching, America." Whereas with Iran, you have this kind of global support in a way that you haven't really seen before. Where even like Australia is like, "Dude, get them. Yes, finally, get them." You have places all over the world that are so very thankful that this organization that was exporting terrorism globally is finally being dealt with. Could it have been done a little bit cleaner, a little bit differently? I think so. But overall, I think it's probably the best thing that America has done in the last 25 years of counterinsurgency stuff. And I do include that with the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Stepping in Iran was probably the greatest thing we could have done as a nation. That's my take.
That does remind me to bring up one point that I often bring up, and that is, if we hadn't ousted Saddam Hussein, we might not be having to attack Iran.
Saddam Hussein was a great enemy of Iran.
Right, a great counter to Iran. So,
okay, so because he was a counter, you think that he would have fought Iran before he fought other places? Traditionally, I don't mean to be culturally insensitive, but Islamic governments typically go after non-Islamic governments before they go after each other. It's pretty rare you see them really gunning at each other.
Oh no!
Where we see it with like Pakistan and Afghanistan right now, that's some crazy stuff you never really see. You think that Iraq would have tried to be a block to what Iran has done, exporting terrorism?
Absolutely. They went to war in the 80s.
That's fair.
That was just a staggeringly costly war. People don't even realize how many were killed on both sides, especially in Iran.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of bottom line and cruel, but a strong Iraq would have been killing Iranians, all the way down, and then, it would have occupied their time and their resources to fight Iraq.
I want to make a comment towards the costly part. I thought you were going to say money wise, but yeah, for lives. What's interesting to me, based on the numbers that was given out yesterday, Israel, I believe it's just Israel, has been striking Beirut for 3 days now. And they said that all these strikes that have been happening constantly for 3 days, they've only killed 61 people. So the precision or strategy that they're using to destroy infrastructure is not exactly taking out a bunch of people. Whereas if all those strikes were hitting people, that number would be massive.
It is a nation that in its death throes saying, "Hey, we're going to give the entire world hell and unload every barrel that we've got, use every asset we got." And everything that they can do as a nation. They've killed some 60 odd people in Israel. They've killed like 5 Americans and a handful of people in other places. And it's like the absolute utter fury of their nation is a little pathetic. I'm just going to say that. Like it's quite the underwhelming scorched earth campaign. As far as a nation that was, 5 years ago regarded as one of the major powers on the planet.
I thought that they were going to take out the port of Hormuz. That would have been my scorched earth move. If I was trying to do as much damage as possible to the world, that would be my strike point.
Well, the reason from the research that I've done, the reason to my understanding is that the reason that everyone's like, hey, it's illogical for them to like be punching everybody in the face. It doesn't make sense. They don't need more enemies. Right. They can't win a conventional war. They don't have any bargaining leverage. other than if they make themselves so much of a problem that the rest of the world says, hey, America, could you strike a deal just to make them shut up? They're throwing so much of a fit that it's just not worth us dealing with. They're, shutting down the oil trade, and they're attacking all of our citizens and everything else. Could we pacify them through another means quicker? Like, I think that's essentially the play that they're going for. And I think
why would they want to kill themselves faster? I don't understand that play.
Well, it's not killing themselves faster. It's the only move that they have. It's either, hey, we cease to exist as a power structure, or we maintain power with this one card. And our one card is to piss everybody off and just and screw with them to the point that they say, hey, you are not worth the trouble. And I think that is
card.
Their play.
You've been playing that terrorist card for a while, right? This is just ramped up terrorists X.
Well, I think so something for the background of like Iran. It was something, the estimates I've seen are between like 31 to 38% of the Iranian military is actually a logistics unit. And all that they did was supply weapons and different support to groups around the planet that furthered the kind of Islamic extremist movement. And by extension, that's why, like I say, like Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas, like these are kind of by extension Iranian military sections that are somehow based out of other countries. And there's many, many more that are much more important, in my opinion, in Africa. I won't dive down that rabbit hole. But that was like the primary function of their military, was not to be a military that does things itself. It was to supply and support these insurgency operations around the planet and just cause all these problems. And that's my main reason why I'm just like, dude, it is an amazing thing that they're finally getting stepped on. For forever, we've just been playing whack-a-mole. Just mole pops up, you whack in the head, whack in the head, whack in the head. Finally, they're cutting the head off the snake and saying, hey, this is the source of the terrorism. It's causing all the problems and all the loss of life in all these different areas. I think it's a very positive thing that we've actually gone in that direction.
Do you think that we are going to maintain the timeline and within 4 weeks do everything that we set out to do as a nation against them?
No, I don't even think that there's been a clear goal stated to say that we could actually execute anything within a 4-week period. There's been very vague promises of, we will be great and we will do good things and we're going to solve the problem. Like, there's not solving this in 4 weeks. And even like 4 years from now, there's probably going to be insurgency units still that are remnants of Iran, even if we like smite them into shards, and they're just going to join into something else and call themselves something else. I mean, that's kind of how the world works. You're never going to kill an ideology. That's what the main issue is. Like right now, there's an ideology that has functional power, and right now we're dismantling the power. You're never going to kill the ideology, though. It's just
they're civilians that are against the ideology. Isn't the whole point of why the United States was willing to strike was because the civilians of that nation were against the ideology that was being pushed upon them?
I don't think so. I think that's the marketed justification.
Okay.
I do believe that is the case, that there is a bunch of civilians that live there that do disagree with the ideology and do have a very big problem with the thing. I think it is the marketed justification. I think the actual reason that they got stepped on is because they kept screwing with global trade. That was the one card that they kept repeatedly playing. They would screw with the boats from India and from Israel and Europe and everywhere else. And they had that strategic location where they could do so and fuck with international trade. And they continued to do so and do so and do so and make themselves such a fucking problem that finally somebody said, hey, enough, we're going to deal with you. The humanitarian thing of like, hey, they're bad people, they're killing people. That's a great talking point. It is true. But the reason they actually got dealt with, I think, is financial, because there's two things that move powers in this world. One is control and the other is money. And that's what's happening here. You're removing control from a group and you are shifting the financial levers so money can move in a different direction. And that, in my opinion, as kind of a cynical, jaded view, that is the actual motivations of every single war that's ever existed. It'll always posture on like, oh, there was this bad thing and these are bad people or whatever the hell. it's never about that. It's always about power and control. Like it's always about the money.
You're getting pushback, or not pushback. You're getting pushback from Bottle Cap, saying that marketing is not a serious talking point, and Kang is saying, I don't understand why people are calling this Israel's war.
Yeah. Let me actually tune in chat. I apologize, chat.
Okay.
Trying to multitask.
I mean, Israel does benefit from because they're warring factions since Abraham. So, I mean,
Yeah, they've
benefit from
been at
not
war
having as
forever.
much of a threat, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel that Bottle Cap is kind of agreeing with me. Yeah, marketing talk is full of BS, and I feel like there's the reason people do things, and then there's the reason that they say that they do things. I think that there's a separation between those two things, and especially on the national level. Yeah, we can say that, oh, we're doing this thing because we're humanitarians, we care about the harm caused to people. But at the end of the day, is that the reason that America is taking action? Okay.
And Plato Z, we discussed this pretty heavily earlier. They're working towards it for sure. Sorry to continue Hells there.
If it's true
No,
that
no, no.
the ideology of the Iranian people is that if they had that technology, they would use it to bring about the end of the world. If that is a true point, then I can see why people don't want them to have it. If that's a false point, then it's worth knowing it's a false point.
We can't let
I
anybody,
would say
we can't let anybody new have anything close to an operational nuclear weapon. And it would help our cause if we didn't go around bragging about making more.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah. Nukes are objectively a bad thing. The world would be a better place if they never existed, and they only have to exist because other people have them. But more people getting them, never a good thing.
yeah, the more there are, the more ability or possibility of them falling into the wrong hands too,
Yeah, unfortunately, I think more and more countries and groups, the technology is spreading, the knowledge of how to do it is spreading. It's only going to get worse. It's never going to get better.
What about accessibility to raw materials? Can't that be tracked?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to track it, but you have to you still have and technology to discover covert nuclear programs has vastly improved in the last 30, 40 years. So the problem is that countries, you may know what they're doing, but they're just going to keep doing it until you make them stop, like with Iran.
I think eventually, I think we're about due for something to be even worse than nuclear weapons.
We don't know what technology.
Well, like COVID,
right?
Yeah, that's a good example, actually.
You're talking about what this guy just said right here, Ethan?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't even see his. But yeah, but
No,
yeah,
100%.
I guess
He's not wrong.
it could be bio, yeah, or just something else that we just don't know yet. That something smashing together and at some high speed is easy to figure out, and we just haven't done it yet. Maybe AI will help with that, and
I don't think
it'll be we can just walk in somewhere and it's undetectable and we'll destroy the whole world.
I wouldn't be surprised if nations have discovered those technologies, but they aren't using them unless they're going scorched earth.
I mean, there's all kinds of rebels.
They would just use it for their power. I mean, if they got something like that in their back thing and they're not the United States on the top of the world, then I mean, we could see, like it brings somebody like Russia to the. I mean, they're perceived as one of the biggest, most powerful countries in the world. Why? Because they have nukes. No wonder North Korea wants to, have nukes, and just like Iran does. It gives themselves street cred, if you will.
It would be the street cred would not last long because I would think the whole world would defeat them in unison after they used it.
Well, once you got an operational nuclear weapon, then all your offense towards them is muted because they have the power to use that on you.
I was thinking of the next thing, not nukes. I thought we were talking about new technologies.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm just thinking if you're some country that has some more powerful and nuclear weapon capabilities, holding it till you're gonna die and destroy the world seems like a waste. I would use it now for the power.
It seems like the internet is doing pretty good with that.
I would say it makes sense to use it for the power if you are a place that's powerless. Like if America specifically, if they had something super more dangerous than a nuke.
Yeah,
but
unless you're America.
Yeah, but like I mean, there's a number of other nations that are just like, hey, why should we show our hand? Like I could see them kind of sitting on something. But I mean, like there's a number of things that have theoretically been presented. If you ever looked into like HARP or some of this other stuff, I think it's slightly bullshit. But like just to unpack the idea of HARP, it is the argument that there is these radio arrays of it's like massive fields of radio waves that essentially focus themselves like a laser and target specifically the magnetosphere of the atmosphere in order to inflate it and accelerate it. And by adding energy to it, you push it out. And by doing so, you can change barometric pressure. And you can do all kinds of shit with that, apparently, like steer hurricanes or potentially cause earthquakes. And it's basically weaponizing the environment. That's the conspiracy theory about HARP. There's an entire thing with that you can dive into.
What is the non-conspiracy theory?
I mean, that's one I think is kind of bullshit. Like there's scientific stuff that makes sense about it, but
so experimental technology. That's the purpose of HARP.
No, the like HARP is not said to really like, but it was this idea that there was these mobile platforms that could go around and they could manipulate the weather to weaponize weather against people and say, hey man, this country's pissed us off, so how about we have a fucking tornado show up on their shore as opposed to
I didn't know if we actually had hardwired facilities that we are experimenting with the technology with, and that's where the conspiracy theories come from.
There is these hardwired facilities. The reason that I think it's bullshit is because I've studied some level of astrophysics, and there's by having large radio arrays function essentially as telescopes in different aspects as far as exploring what's out there in the universe. There's other reasons to have giant fields of antennas shooting radio waves into outer space than making a weapon that does something, especially when it's a fixed structure. That just doesn't make that much sense. It makes sense if you were to have the mobile structure, which is an argument, but I haven't ever seen the existence of that. There's just accusations that there's a converted oil platform or something that has it, and I don't know.
But at the same time, if they're learning the technology now with a large facility, it's possible that in the future they'll be able to scale it down.
Oh yeah. Also, Plato's brought up an excellent point there. It's like, hey, that technology could be used as a preventative measure as well. I mean, yes, if you could actually manipulate weather, there's totally a positive that comes with that. But as history has shown, like anytime you have the power to do something, it will also be used for bad. Like the second something's possible, somebody's gonna be like, so how do we kill people with that? You know?
Right.
You know where I heard about this, really where I first got exposed to it, there was a show that Jesse Ventura, I guess, starred in, invented, was the producer of it. Was sort of a fringe conspiracy theorist type show where he covered HARP quite a bit in that. I considered that show to be more of a guilty, almost like soap opera level, but there was some interesting things that he talked about. And one of them was there's some kind of a fucking laboratory. I think it's off the coast of Connecticut, very close to Lyme, Connecticut, where they were doing experiments, and somehow the thought is that they got this Lyme disease on ticks and it got over to the mainland. I don't know if you guys had ever heard about this, but it was like,
I've heard a bioweapon theory of Lyme disease. Yeah.
yeah. I think whether it's in Long Island Sound or off the coast of New York or Connecticut, it's right in that vicinity there. I found that. I think I heard about that on the Jesse Ventura show as well. I can't remember whatever the name of that was, but certainly
He's still
some
around?
interest. He is, and he was technically a Navy SEAL, so the guy is not without any cred, you know. And he was a senator, right?
Was he governor?
Was he governor? Governor.
I think he was governor.
I mean, he did all right.
Hell yeah, he did, brother.
And
Hell yeah, brother.
he was good in Predator. He was fucking good.
He was. He's got a hell of a butt chin. Gotta be admired.
Yeah.
But chin
That
shows
was
strength.
when he's they're on the helicopter and he's chewing the tobacco and
Yeah, he's
listen to Little Richard. Great song too. That's a good scene.
You want to know? Do you remember the Otzi or Otzi, the Iceman, who was found, in a ice or in the Alps?
Ice Person.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ice person up in the mountain.
I do.
They dated him to lived about 3,300 years before Christ.
Okay.
Ooh.
He had Lyme disease.
Doesn't seem possible.
He did.
Global
Well,
warming.
Lyme disease was invented after Lyme, Connecticut, so clearly it existed before Lyme, Connecticut existed.
Yes.
well.
Well,
Maybe it was
it's
something that was
when-
brought back, maybe
When
as opposed
when
to
he died, it wasn't called Lyme disease.
No. It was called.
Technically-
You're lucky to be alive this long.
No,
It
no.
was technically renamed.
In that day and age, it was actually called Ochakaho.
Yeah.
Like that was the proper name for it from
very deadly, yeah.
very good sources.
Much more deadly version than it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard too that the theory of AIDS is that it has always existed, and it just really became obvious and apparent with the huge amount of promiscuity that was taking place in concentrated areas in the 70s and 80s in particular populations that it really started to get noticed. But
Which particular population?
Yeah. Are we talking about?
What's
Yes.
spread it?
Are we
What's
talking
spread
about
it?
people that like camping or
Camping with two dudes
rock
and a tent
climbing?
on a mountain.
Oh, no.
Maybe a Brokeback Mountain.
I think you're talking about people that like dancing.
Yeah, I do have a counterpoint to that though, is that when it really blew up is when intravenous drug usage became very common, because actually the majority of STDs, yes, you can have them transmitted sexually. It's much more difficult to do so, where it's very, very, very easy to do when you share needles.
Yeah,
Sure.
intravenous and
I-
intrapenis.
I could have sworn it blew up after it was cool to have sex with apes. Am I wrong?
I never thought that was
that's
cool.
I don't know if that was ever cool, but I mean, like, I think that was something that was theorized to have happened in like the 1800s or something. But like, it blew up in the period of time when you had people shooting stuff up, and this makes sense to me biologically. It's like the majority of like when people get like hepatitis and other things. I mean, there's certain things that spread without that. You know, people get herpes or whatever the fuck. But there's other stuff that like AIDS, like the transfer rates are much, much, much more likely
Sure.
through sharing needles. Whenever you have blood-to-blood contact, like that kind of stuff, that's so much more common than it is from two people banging or somebody sucking somebody's dick or whatever.
Right.
So in that case, is the clean needle
The PG
distribution
shit
program
here.
good for public health or bad?
It's
Depends.
definitely for the people's interest. It's totally.
It reduces the amount of people that get the thing, but also there is the accelerationist argument that if everybody that had the disease died off, the problem would go away.
It reduces the amount of people also.
less customers.
Mhm.
You would think that the drug dealers would give out clean needles because it behooves them to keep their buyers alive longer. So my thought with the clean needle thing is, if you give 20 junkies and there's one needle to go around, they're all going to still get high with the one needle. And if they all have clean needles, they're all going to still get high with their own needle. So I don't think you're perpetuating drug use by giving out clean needles, but I still inherently am against it. Like, I object to it because you're in some way contributing to it. It's like a duality thing. I can't really make it right in my head, you know? It's like the same thing with these clean injection sites. Oh, so you're going to fucking allow people to break the law and OD, but then you save their life. But
Not only that, you save a hell of a lot of money for the government by giving out clean needles.
in healthcare,
Yes.
because people aren't getting AIDS as frequently.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I would say, real quick, Last Dance had a great take right here. They said that scientists have used genetic sequencing to trace the origin of HIV-1, the most common version, back to Kinshasa.
Kinshasa.
Yeah, a Democratic Republic of Congo around 1920. So they did correct me about the 1800s, and that's a very valid take on the issue. The second thing I would say, though, being somebody that has been around a rather divergent crowd many times in my life, I have never shot up in my life. I've seen it happen more times than I can fucking count. But something that commonly happens is whenever they cook up their dope on their spoon, they take the heroin, they put it on there, they put some water in there, and they cook it. And then they use a sponge to filter it as they put it in the needle. They'll cook up a batch, but then they shoot, and then they pass the needle off, and the next person shoots. That they cook it in a batch. So I don't
From
think
the same
amount
needle?
of yes. It's because it's just more effective and efficient to do it that way. Otherwise, you're cooking off more dope to make your dope, and then you're wasting dope. And what do you think a junkie cares more about? Being safe about their drug use, or
Now, let me ask you this.
more bang for their buck and getting high, you know?
Syringes, most syringes or some syringes have replaceable needles. There are two parts, the needle and the syringe part.
Oh, yeah.
If they were given free needles, you would still waste a little heroin that's in the needle that you throw away. But if they were given free needles, would they replace a needle for every person?
No. So it's actually before they even shoot up, they actually draw back. That they will put it into the vein. They draw back to pull blood through the needle that will mix then into the dope, and then they push it in, and it's to eliminate any gap in between there, because also it's a very deadly thing to inject air into your blood veins. That shit can kill you.
Right.
You know, and the alternative to that is what you see like in TV shows where they take the thing and they flick the needle to bring out air bubbles, and then they squeeze the plunger and it squirts in the air. The reason they're doing that is to eliminate air in the system. So if you're swapping out needles, then you're introducing air into the system, and then also the stuff's going to coagulate because they got to heat the dope up to cook it to get it to a temperature to where it can do what it does. I'm actually not
Science.
sure. Yeah, like there's something going on there. I've seen it done a lot of times, unfortunately.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah.
Well, there's an art to it. It's the same with making crack. You can't get it too hot, or else you vaporize the shit that's going to get you high. But you have to get it warm enough to liquefy and become, blood soluble, I guess. So it's
yeah, look at us teaching people how to do crack and shoot heroin and get AIDS.
yeah. Beware the dude showing up to buy baking soda at 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. He ain't baking motherfucking cookies. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Drugs, exactly.
Yeah, Blue. That's an anxiety-causing event right there, waiting for that result. My family's background is with growth and purification of HIV, actually, when they were studying it during that era. We were able to produce many yields higher than the government. So the government contracted with my family to create mig per mil quantities.
Yeah, when they take your blood now, if you have insurance or whatever, it like the STD test is included. So doctors, even if you've been married and monogamous for 20 years, they'll still push you to get the STD test because it's included on your insurance, and they make more money off of it. The hospitals do, so, or whoever the provider is. It's a silly thing for some people to do, but it's almost like they want everybody to do it, I guess, because every test makes more dollars for them,
I think every celibate priest should have STD testing every year.
Oh, why? What?
Just to make sure that they're still celibate.
Oh, no, so one of the things I also do present whenever talking about STDs, the one real scare I ever had in my life, I had a girl that I was very serious about, and at one point it turned up that she actually had hepatitis C. That was fucking terrifying. That shit's for life. There's no getting rid of that. But whenever
the liver pretty badly, right?
Yeah. I mean, it'll eat your liver. I mean, it's basically a death sentence. It's just how long.
That's what it means.
They have
liver and itis is inflammation.
Yeah. But the thing was, whenever I went, because it was after I had stopped dating her, I was still on great terms with her, and she was like, "Look, this is going to be a rough conversation. Just so you know, I have this condition. Not sure how long I have had it, and we were doing all of the dirty and everything else, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So but one of the things, whenever I went to the doctor, I was like, hey, I need to get tested, and it wasn't just like, hey, you do this test and you're good. It was like, after 3 months we can give you this test and it's this % accurate, and after like 8 months we can give you this test and it's going to be this % accurate. But after like, I think it was like 14 months or something, that was like the test, and like that's going to tell you like 99% that you're solid. Jesus, and then you're good. But dude, like that was like over a fucking year where like I couldn't even be a single dude going out doing what I do, and it was a whole situation to explain, to be like, so I don't think I do have Hep C, but there is a minute possibility that I do.
Can you just wear a shirt that might have Hep?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was awkward to be like a moral human being with that, because I wasn't the guy that was just like, oh well, I'm like 80% confirmed not to have it, so let's roll the 20% dice, and I'm just gonna bang this chick. Fuck no.
Without getting too specific, Hell's inquiring minds want to know, do you know how she acquired it? You could just say recreationally or whatever, medically.
Needles. Yeah. Same thing.
Her own stupid decision. It wasn't like an errant blood transfusion or something like that. It was misadventure.
I mean, she's. I will love that girl to the day I die. I will never be with her again. But whenever I joined the Marine Corps, we were together before, and then we kind of took a break. And during the time I was in the Marine Corps, she got addicted to heroin. I didn't know that until I got out.
Damn.
In at some point during that, I was like, hey, I'm still Captain Savaho. I'm gonna like just my love, and I'm gonna like try to save her from herself. And at some point during that, she through her shooting up, she contracted hepatitis C. So
that's blood to blood, basically transfusion.
It was all the needles. It was all of the stuff. I mean, you got
lucky, man. You got lucky coming out of the Marines. You're ready to fucking bang anything and everything. And like you said, you won the lottery by not getting it. Thank God, but Christ.
So apparently the transmission rate, like this is one of the reasons I brought up the point I did earlier, that the needle transmission rate is one of the primary things, because whenever I actually started talking to the doctors, like they were like, hey, the actual transmission rate of hepatitis C through sexual contact is actually really, really low. It's very, very high when you share needles and when you do certain weird stuff with bodily fluids that I'm not into. But, you know, and I feel like I'm entering the territory.
Can you give any examples?
Yeah, like when you're a little kid and you cut your hand and like shake your buddy's hand and you're both blood brothers. That's hepatitis.
I mean, yeah, that would be a example, yeah.
But that's not the most common, obviously.
Yeah.
I have a slightly different topic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where did old bro go?
This probably brought up some bad memories or something, and he left the group.
He realized he had his last Depends last night. And
Oh, jeez, you're such a mean guy. I thought we'd ended at old bro, and you went to Depends. Damn, bro.
That's love.
Jerk store called. They ran out of you. All right.
Ouch.
RW, what was your non sequitur?
We're going to talk about Epstein for a couple seconds.
There you go.
There's new information that's come out through the DOJ.
Yeah.
Prison guard, one of the prison guards that was supposed to be watching him, they Googled Jeffrey Epstein minutes before his body was found, which doesn't really mean anything to me, but they deposited thousands of dollars days before his death.
Into what? Deposited
into the bank account.
Thousands, like a few, or are we talking?
I think it's $5,000.
Eh.
I just think that's interesting that's going around the internet right now.
$5,000 ain't shit, honestly. I think you get paid a hell of a lot more to kill somebody in a federal facility. I think the going rate on the street, like, I don't want to say.
Yeah, more than 5.
I mean, it's at least 4 times that much. That, I mean, if you were to hit up a motorcycle club and ask them to whack somebody, like, you're not going to kill somebody for $5,000 these days.
By whack somebody, you mean kill them or give them pleasure?
I will.
How much is the second one? Yeah. So I thought that was funny that popped up. Yeah. And there's a massive pushback on Kalshi. So this is a company that's popped up recently, and they're partnering with a lot of people that share news because they make money on people gambling on outcomes in the world. And there was a $54 million trade buyout for the Khamenei's death happening by a certain date, and $54 million was in the pot, and all these people voted yes, but they're not paying it out in full because he died. And they're saying you didn't change it till afterwards that death wasn't a viable reason for him not being in power. So they're getting major backlash because they don't want to pay people out. And I never vote on that stuff, so it doesn't really affect me, but I like seeing Kalshi in the shit, so I thought I'd share that. Because I don't like my news feeds being based on betting odds. I hate that shit.
I do too.
I think it's disgusting, yeah.
The second I looked at Kalshi on Google, and then like I opened Facebook the next day, and every other ad is fucking Kalshi. It's so all connected.
Yes.
I hate it too, man.
We just got gambling like this last, I guess, January 1 approved
for the Indians or for everybody.
Like I don't know, sports betting. I guess it is.
Oh, sports betting. Okay.
And now I swear to God, man, especially in the daytime, it's every fucking commercial. It's either a lawyer like wanting to get your malpractice, or it's a sports betting. It's so annoying.
So pharmaceutical drugs are actually taking a hit.
Yeah,
I got him. There he is.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not far.
I was gonna try some parlays for the Super Bowl. Thankfully, I didn't, because after the game was over and my team lost in a pathetic downward spiral of horrendous football, none of the fucking parlays would have come true. Not even one out of any of them. But the only way to win with sports gambling is a parlay. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's
Oh,
where,
there's a,
that's where a cheap guy like me or Aphidlip can bet $10, but you got to pick 4 or 5 things in a single game. Like, you know, okay, I'm going to bet Josh Allen gets 300 yards. This receiver gets 75 yards. This running back gets 2.5 carries. And, you know, this defensive end gets, you know, 2 sacks. Bet 10, win 1,500. That's
Yeah,
a
hell
type
yeah.
of thing I might do.
But I mean, you know, you only lost $10. It was fun.
Exactly.
The problem that I have
That's my
with
kind
it
of
though
betting.
is that the NFL actually reclassified themselves from a sports group into an entertainment group. So as of now, the NFL is regulated in the same way that the WCW or WWF is, where it can be completely scripted. You can have people having a fake fight, beating the shit out of each other in a fake way with the intended outcome, and it's legal. There is no regulation on it because the NFL is no longer a sports institution. They are an entertainment institution.
Did they state why they did that? Like that's speculation for why, right?
No. They did have the transfer. It was one of the same things as like whenever they changed themselves. Like originally they were a nonprofit and they changed it from a nonprofit to a for-profit. It was because obviously they weren't a fucking nonprofit ever, and it was a disgusting abuse of the power.
Right.
But yeah, now you have a ramping up of all this betting shit, and you have a institution that's no longer a sports industry. It's not regulated and upheld to standards. They can do whatever they want. They could have a fucking ref act like he's high on cocaine, strip his fucking ass naked, and grab the ball out of a player's hand and make a touchdown for the other team.
Or
And
you
technically, you know, like it would be okay. And like, but whenever you combine that with the amount of sports betting and shit that's going on, I mean,
That's
at
not
that
looking
point,
good for the conspiracy theorists, Hells. I'm already
like,
somebody that thinks it's scripted anyway. So
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as a bettor, if you're not in the know, you are the sucker. And there's already, you know, there is the conspiracy stuff of like, hey, this team is slated to win this year. You know, this is what's going on, and it makes sense financially for what they do. I mean, there's a reason for that. But would I bet money on the NFL? Fuck no. I would, dude. There's a million other places I would put my money before I ever put $1 in the fucking NFL betting.
that's very interesting. I know that I know that corporations like money, and if now they can make money by planning events out, they have a lot of opportunity to make more money.
Hmm?
Are they going to use that, or are they going to be altruistic? Are they going to do what's best for the people just because that's what they want to do? I'm sorry, I couldn't even finish that sentence.
No, I like Cup of Tea's take there. It's like all suckers must be fleeced. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna sit there and dump money into the fucking NFL betting stuff, yeah, good luck.
I mean, as far as I'm finding, it's technically structured as a professional sports league and business.
And business as entertainment. No
Yeah,
longer. It doesn't have the regulation of a sports league as it did before. They restructured that. They're doing the same with basketball and soccer now, to my understanding.
Is the only thing
It's
that
not
makes it
exactly the same as wrestling because it's sort of in between the two. Like wrestling would be the extreme on one end, and whatever pure sport, it would be the extreme on the other. I feel like the NFL
That's
is
fair.
somewhat walking the line there on the two of them. I don't think, and personally, I don't think they do script games, and I think that would be really risky for them to do, because if that gets out, then the whole thing is destroyed. The multiple billions of dollars a week would be lost.
I mean, it's also something that's difficult to prove, but it's something that I do think has been happening for a long time, like Major League Baseball. How many times have we had a World Series that did not go to Game 7? Think about it. I mean, it always goes to game 7 now. Like it used to be, sometimes you would have a complete shutout, like you'd have a couple games and it's over. No, now it always goes to game 7 because you know how much more money there is to have more games. And it's like, oh man, they have to win every single game from here in order to have a chance. And oh, they won that game. Are they going to win the next one? They won that game. Are they going to win the next one? Now it's the final deciding game. Oh, everybody pay attention.
To me,
It's
that's
good
like
entertainment.
that's like when
How do you suppose they managed to pull off this rigging?
I'd say financial incentive to the teams. You tell a team like, hey, you're this is one of the things I say. Like the Dallas Cowboys, are they the greatest sports team on the planet? Most people would say no. Like they don't win that much and whatever. At the same time, they are by far the most profitable sports team on the planet by a massive margin. Like they are the most profitable sports team on the planet, which is what owners of sports teams want. You buy a team not because you just really care about the game. It's because it is a investment and it will make you money. When your team gets into the Major League Baseball and says, hey, we're going to the World Series, it's like, hey, do we want the quick win and say that we're going to play just a couple games and we're going to walk away with a trophy? Or we could extend that by another 3 or 4 games and make another couple $100 million. I mean,
We're talking about
between those
motivation.
things, yeah, there's a financial motivation in order to have this thing. And how do you do that? You just have to have people talk to the team and be like, hey man, maybe don't bat quite as well. Maybe don't fucking knock that thing out the park. Maybe don't make that catch. Like it ain't hard to create a couple slips here and there. And the players' salaries is built on the success of the team. And if the success of the team is built on the financial gain,
But
everybody in the environment has a.
players are only on a team for a short time, especially in the NFL. Their careers are rather short. If they and plus these are fuck ups too. There's no way they would be able to keep a secret for any length of time.
But if they're on the take and they're profiting from it too. But in Major League Baseball, you usually have a lot more long-term loyalty towards things, and that's the example that I gave that you were questioning.
This is a class of people, the NFL, who's if they would only stop raping, or driving drunk, they could have long, profitable careers. But they can't even manage that. There's no way that they do. They don't always act in their own financial interest. If games were rigged in any way, players would talk about it.
And Real Madrid is the most profitable year-to-year sports franchise. At least, I can't say they're the most, but a quick search nets them at over $1 billion a year, and the Cowboys at $629 million a year in profit, pure profit.
Okay, so I was wrong about that one, I guess.
But in the world of international soccer or football, however you might want to call it, I think it's a little different.
I'm not sure how much that goes on there. Although FIFA is one of the most disgusting organizations that's existed, in my opinion. But and English Bottle Cap had a great point that there is the poker players that use asymmetric patterns with back cards to beat that. Yeah, he's specifically speaking about Phil Ivey, him and whatever the Asian chick, I forget her name, but Phil Ivey and him took a casino for like $300 million and then had a court case afterwards. Like it was one of the more entertaining things I've ever seen in poker because it dove into like what the game actually is. And he's like, hey man, the house defined the rules. We beat them at their own game. They still owe us, even if we fucking did things in a way that they didn't think was possible.
Huh.
There's a
So
super cool story there.
they didn't mark the cards. That's not what Bottle Cap is saying.
No. So there was the way that the cards were cut. If you played with the same deck, you could identify if you were, I don't know, had the autistic gift of recognizing patterns enough, you could identify the exact pattern cut on certain cards. So what they did is Phil Ivey and this other chick that was also a super high roller, they set up games with these specific rules of saying, hey, we're going to play blackjack. but we have these specifications. One of them was that there's a lucky deck, so you're going to have this one deck. You're not going to change the deck, and we're only going to play with the one deck. And in doing so, the chick was able to recognize the patterns and somehow signal whatever to Phil Ivey, and they were able to basically fleece the institution for like $300 million or something before they kind of caught on and were like, yeah, y'all are on some bullshit. There's something up. And then afterwards they're like, yeah, we figured out this pattern and we took you for your money. Now give us our fucking money. And they were like, no, we're not giving you your money. And they sued them in court. And the court was just basically like, hey man, they obeyed all the rules of the game and they beat you at your own game. So suck it the fuck up, Buttercup, and pay them out.
So you're saying it was where the cards are cut, so it's like the edge?
Yeah, that's exactly what English Bottle Cap said. It's called edge sorting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term, but
Do they? That's brilliant. Do they have to have the cards in their hand to see those patterns? You have to look at them, or can you see them from across the table?
I mean, it's the back of the card for whatever style of the thing was. It was the way that they were cut, and actually, card making companies changed the way that they made their cards to now make them uniform. Because before they had like a giant sheet of whatever pattern, and then they would cut out whatever thing, and they'd make the cards or whatever.
Okay.
But there was inconsistencies in the way that the cards were made. But if you played with a deck enough, you could see like, hey, I recognize the back of this card. And then it flips, and oh, that's the ace of diamonds. And if you play enough, you could like by memory be like, oh, by the back of that card, I know that that's the ace of diamonds. You know, that was the advantage that they were able to manipulate.
Wow.
So super.
I like it.
over
So
the
you're
years,
saying-
that has happened with dollars too. There's cuts of currency that are off center and oftentimes end up being worth more money to collectors. It's pretty freaking rare, but I would think, being that dollars are so highly regulated when they're made, playing cards probably aren't. They're $4 a pack, so clearly inconsistencies are going to happen when it's just a novelty. You know, no
Did they eventually get paid, Hells, or are they still fighting?
No, Phil Ivey and the other chick got paid. I
don't think
forget the girl's name. But
there's no legal ground to stand on. All they did was play game, look at the back of the cards.
yeah, I mean
Right.
that was what it came down to, was that essentially the casino was arguing like, hey, they cheated, they did this thing, and Phil Ivey and the other person like, yes, we did do that thing. They weren't even fucking hiding it. They're like, 100%, we did this thing. It was not against the rules we agreed on, and we outplayed you, and we figured out a way to beat you in a way that you didn't think was possible. You fucking owe us money. And they did get paid out. And Phil Ivey is now one of the, I thought that he was the number one. I guess he's like the number 3 or 4 or something. But he's one of the greatest poker players that's ever existed on the planet. But now he's moved out of winning the world championships of poker and stuff, and now he makes a lot of his money in a dirty way off of online gambling. But
Why does he need to make money?
at this point, he doesn't. That dude's a intellectual monster of a human being. If you ever get a chance to see some of his like little intellectual breakdowns where he talks about stuff, super cool human being. Like he's a phenomenon. I mean, he's a different kind of fucking human being. In my opinion.
Gambling is I would say, well, at least for me, it was 50% of the money and 50% of the high of winning. So even if he's got $1 million, he's gonna miss that other 50% of winning. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
What was
But
your
it-
game, Nathan Lip?
Well, it's pool for
You pull
Many
for
years.
money.
yeah.
No kidding. When's the last time you held a stick?
Last night.
Very, very rarely.
Really?
Very, yeah, because then now I don't have any interest in it. You know, because I'm not gambling takes out a lot of it.
If you
And,
go out-
and I'm not at the same level I was at, so it's really frustrating more than anything else to play now.
If you go out and there's a pool table, do you put quarters down?
Well, I don't really go out to places that have pool table. I don't ever find myself at a place that has a pool table. Because you'd have to be at a bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to a bar.
Only time I do is when my college buddy comes to visit, and we go to the bar down the street here.
Oh hell yeah, I'd be all down. I'd be down to, but I'm good enough where it's not fun for like the average person to play with because it's frustrating for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not as good as I was before, so it's frustrating to me to be at the level I'm at now.
It gets frustrating too when you're paying like $5 or $6 a beer, and then you got to give a tip every time, and you have so many beers at home. It's like,
right.
I mean, it's not a ton of money, but each round is, after a tip, $12, $13, and and other people want to play. It's not. I mean, there's no more like, I don't know, really good pool bars, at least around here, like there used to be in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah, because the casinos killed that.
You could pay for an hour.
Yeah,
and,
that's the places I worked at. That's how it was. You played.
It was epic. Good tables, big, full size. These ones I play at are fucking baby tables. They're tiny, dude.
Yeah, bar tables.
Yeah, you don't need a bridge because they're so fucking small. Like,
yeah,
you'd be looking like a fool if you had the bridge up there. So,
but that's the whole thing too. Playing on a bar table, like stringing. If you play 9-ball on a bar table, stringing racks together, it's cool to see how many you can.
So I heard about this new. Sorry, go on.
No. I want to hear your new old guy thing. Yeah. What do you got?
I heard about this new game, gambling game that's coming to Maryland. Come on.
Sorry.
They will replay old horse races, and you have to bet on the winner, or there's some different bets you can make. They won't give you enough details so that you know exactly which race it is, but they give you various stats about the horses and so forth. And then
seems kind of silly.
After you make your bets, the video plays of the actual race. That race could have been 30 or 40 years ago, or it could have been more recent, but yeah, I don't know. It sounds kind of bizarre, but apparently it's been done in other states as well.
Isn't there enough races going on anyway?
The desire, because horse racing in Maryland, it's been declining since I've lived there. So at least 40 years.
You can't bet on other states' races?
I don't know.
Like simulcast?
I don't know.
Sure on the internet you can.
I mean,
because when I went
that's horse racing tracks. I'm talking about the actual horse racing business in Maryland has been declining, and then they allowed the casino licenses in a few places, and that further destroyed it. So this is an attempt to bring more effort or money into horse racing. I'm not sure how that helps.
Well, I wonder if it's a skip around the law of some sort. Like, I wonder if these are only races that have been held in Maryland and they're able to bypass the law of betting on races in other states or something. That would be the only thing that makes sense. Because when I was playing pool and stuff, I went through every form of betting, gambling, everyone. And I spent some time at the tracks. It's extremely depressing because of the elderly people there spending all their money on these horse races. But it was when there wasn't a race going on at the track, we could be betting on races going on in other parts of the United States. So I just wonder if Maryland, if they don't have that, they only got the races going on in Maryland, so there is a limited amount of. But maybe a way to skirt around that is to bet on older races that happened in the state.
Right.
It's the only thing that makes sense because there's always races going on, and it's almost always you're able to bet on something.
Well, Yeah, in the drinking hours of the standard
Well, that's true.
alcoholic,
That's true.
there isn't races like
No, that's true.
at 6 a.m. or like 3
That's-
a.m.
Well, you'd be
That's a good
surprised at
point.
how early the races start.
One thing that I didn't understand in Australia is that they had virtual horse races. And I'm like, you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to give you my winning bet and put it into the computer and the computer's not going to fuck with it? Like, it's just going to
Well, I mean,
run random whatever, and it's not going
that's
to
exactly what a slot machine is anyway.
for the digital ones. Yeah.
Well, there's a different level in that, in my opinion. That a lot of the horse race stuff, like not even on the virtual side, but if you're betting on a real horse race, they can say like, "Hey, this guy just threw down 100 grand. That's going to shift the odds of this." You could place a bet in front of that. Same thing with stocks. Why like Robinhood is free? The reason that thing is free is because they can place bets on stocks in front of you, and then behind you do a sale. So if you put $100,000 into a penny stock, they can say, "Oh well, before we're going to place your thing, we're going to put in, $5,000 of our own thing, and then afterwards we're going to sell that $5,000 off, and we're going to make whatever, $100 or $1,000 or whatever it is that they make on that." But in doing so, by controlling what that market is, that they are able to carve out margins, and that's how they justify having the free aspect of that. That's why the free trading aspect is kind of a scam in the stock market, as well as sports betting and a lot of other things.
Interesting. I mean, the scenario you just laid out wouldn't necessarily hurt the $100,000 buyer, though.
It would. Because before their bet is, their purchase is placed, you have increased the price, and then they make their purchase, and then afterwards you sell off and you carve off the value that they have afterwards. You're
saying they would buy, and that price would not be, then it would change after the fact. So if they bought in at whatever amount, after they bought in at that amount, which should be set, then this company would, prior to putting their funds towards the stock, they would somehow change the price of the stock for the original buyer.
No, there's something, I think it's called prioritized trading. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a thing to where, like, if I'm on like Robinhood or like a free trading market, I can either place my bid, or I can do like a priority thing where it's like, right the fuck now, I'm guaranteed at this rate, and then it's going to cost me in order to do so. If you do the free thing, then it's like, hey, I'm placing this bid, and I'm gonna buy shares that is said to be this price, but if that changes, it's whatever. And usually it only changes by fractions of a cent, but those fractions of a penny matter whenever you're carving out, hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. Like, fractions of a penny add up to a lot of things. I mean, the Office Space thing. Okay, we're just taking pieces of a penny 1,000,000 times a day, and then we're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. Yeah, I mean, that stuff adds up. That's kind of what that market is. And it's also like, if you get in, like, go into your stock trading portfolio and look at it, and there's like there's usually an option of saying like, hey, I want the locked in thing, and it's a different thing that you have to pay some amount of money to do the right now lock the fuck in as this. It's also why there's something of a bandwidth race, where large-scale trading platforms were even trying to create their server networks as close as possible to the trading hubs in order to have the least, millisecond ping, whatever that is, to have the most rapid response they could have, so that they could get in front of anything else. That's part of the race that was going on there, and that was pre what we call AI, but was AI. Like, it was 100%. It's the exact same bullshit of algorithms trading for machines trading against machines, and you just, hey, if you're in the market, you're the sucker, and you're getting carved out for the pennies, but those pennies do add up.
All right, you guys pick another topic. I'll be right back.
Well, one thing is the Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez. I'm sure that you've heard something about that, Hells.
I have. I am so happy.
Well, I mean, what are you happy about? What do you know about him and his situation, and what makes you happy about it?
Okay. Tony Gonzalez, he markets himself as a Republican. He's kind of, a lot of people call him a rhino Republican. I think he's more midline. Like he takes some stances that are Republican, some that are not, but he's kind of a bought and paid for individual all the way through. Like through and through, he has all these massive PACs that are backing him, even after the scandal that happened. Now, for those that don't know, the scandal that happened, apparently he started pressuring him as a position of authority. He started pressuring one of his staff members to have sex with him, and he had an entire affair with this woman. He is married. She is also married. And the texts that came out from that were pretty horrific. Like some of them were like her saying like, "Hey, this has gone way too far. You need to stop." And he's like, "Oh no, like, what do you think about anal?" And da 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 da. And he ends up having this whole affair with her, and he ends up wrecking her family and everything else. Which, you know, hey, whatever, an affair happens. She ends up killing herself by lighting herself on fire, like self-immolation. Like she literally poured like a thing of gasoline on herself, lit herself on fire, and that's how she chose to die, because the pressures of what was going on there was horrible. That escalated to where you had members in Congress and other aspects saying like, "Hey, you should step down," and like this is so awful. You shouldn't even run again. Even with that, he was still backed to the tune of like I don't remember what it was. It was like 5 million or something. Last time I looked at his numbers. Yeah, I mean, sure, bottle cap. You can say that she wrecked her family, but I mean, also, I mean, we're talking about the politician. Like it's not about her. It's about him. Like being the dude in a position of power that is married and pressures his secretary, whatever she was, and fucking him, and then she ends up literally killing herself by lighting herself on fire. I don't think that there is scandal to say that she wasn't that she didn't kill herself, that somebody else did. I don't think that that's a very productive piece of conversation. But the person that he was going against is this guy Brandon Herrera. Now, Brandon Herrera is this cat that he's not a politician in any respect. He's never run for political office until now. His last term, he lost to Tony in the primaries by 200 votes or something like that. Like just a narrow margin. And this time, he kind of blew him out of the water, but still didn't have the margin to where it was going to go to a runoff. And Tony Gonzalez resigned as opposed to allowing the runoff to happen because he knew that he had absolutely no chance. But I mean, that's the entire scandal with that. And a lot of it does also relate to, one of the major topics these days is about border control and immigration. And I mean, the 23rd district of Texas is the largest border section of any district in America as far as the United States-Mexico border. It's probably also the biggest district for even United States-Canada. I'm not certain on that. But so Brandon Herrera has now moved forward in the primaries as a Republican candidate. He's probably going to get into office, and he's completely actually grassroots founded. He's already made his many millions of dollars. There's nobody can afford to buy and pay for him, and he's a very principled human being. And he's somebody I'm looking forward to see kind of shaking up the kind of area of politics. I'm very happy to see Tony out for a number of reasons. He seems to be at a
when did he go out though? I'm not seeing in the feed that I grabbed that he had resigned.
Tony Gonzalez?
He didn't resign.
He did or didn't?
He did not resign. He withdrew from his reelection race.
Yes.
Okay, I don't even have that. I just see from the feed I grabbed that has a runoff in May.
So that was a primary, right? So that means Herrera's in as the candidate?
Yeah. So you have to, for the primaries, you have to win by a certain margin. Otherwise, you go to what's called a runoff.
Which is
Herrera,
what's happening with Ken Paxton and his opponent.
yeah. And they had this runoff, but there was so much heat on Tony Gonzalez that, as opposed to actually letting the runoff happen, he just kind of walked away and said, "Fuck it, Brandon's got it." And what that district is, the Republican candidate's gonna get it. So essentially, Brandon Herrera will be the congressman for the 23rd district of Texas, which again is the largest border area between the U.S. and Mexico that exists, and there's a lot of stuff. But I do not feel that the man always gets the blame. But in this situation, whenever you're the boss of a chick and you're pressuring her from a position of power to send you nudes and to come to a fucking cabin with you and fuck you and everything else,
He's referring
probably he gets some blame.
You're answering this comment, right? Yeah.
Yes, I am. He probably deserves a pretty good amount of blame there. There is lines and stuff. I think that he very heavily crossed the line in a way that any rational human being would say. When a girl says, "Hey, this is going too far. I want this to stop," that's when a dude should probably back off on trying to fuck her, especially being our boss that she makes her entire living and sustainability from, and she's obligated to interact with. Probably that's the moment he should probably step back and stop. It's less about him just being the man and the men get the blame. No, I mean, he crossed lines. Like,
I agree. Same would go for if he was female, and if the rep was a female and the underling was some wet behind the ear male, some young guy who I would apply the same logic to in both situations, that the boss should not be fucking the employee. Like, regardless of if it's government or private industry, it's
Right.
not good for business.
The power dynamic is an issue. Like it is. Like if I have leverage over you and say, "Hey, I control your ability to put food in your children's mouths, and also I want this from you. Are you gonna give it to me?" It's different than saying, "Hey, I'm some random dude at a bar and you're some random chick at a bar. Like, are you interested in Like that there's a different dynamic between those two things. One of them is leveraging power over somebody, and the other is propositioning, and maybe you get accepted or rejected. Can't exactly
The
walk away.
old expression, I hate this expression because it's disgusting. But
One in the pink, two in the stink.
No, aphid.
Oh,
No.
it's you don't.
Two in the pink.
you're
you
right.
don't-
I got it wrong this time.
Fuck.
it's-
Pervert.
excuse me. You don't shit where you eat,
Yes.
Oh,
and I
Some
hate
people are into that, Steve.
fecal and food not good. But the expression obviously refers to you eat from your job and you get it right. I mean,
no. Can you explain it better?
it's abstract.
Gang
but-
might be in the back. I gave him the link. I think we triggered him in.
All right, here comes an individual that needs no introduction. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but I'm offended. What the hell?
I don't know who's coming. I don't know. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on the
Wait, he's gone. Now all of a sudden he's gone.
I may have offended him. I'm sorry.
What? Who was it? Who the fuck
Mace
was it?
Kang. It's
Mace
one
Kang,
of our
man.
W's buddies.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Classic.
I was curious because usually he gets triggered in on something. I was really curious to see what grabbed him.
Shit was buffering forever when he first came on. It was the buffer zone.
Mhm.
So I don't know if his internet is lagging or weak or whatever.
That's fair.
Well, better the buffer zone than the friend zone, right?
He's
I'm
back.
not sure.
All right.
He's
I'm gonna-
back. Boy,
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
He's
We
there.
can hear
He's
you.
there. That's
I've
him.
never seen that symbol before, but we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. There's technical difficulties.
It's okay, bud.
What's your
How
thoughts,
you
man?
been?
Huh?
Go ahead, RW. Speak to your friend.
Oh, I was just curious what your thoughts are, because usually you join when you're something.
Oh, I think we had the same situation with a Democrat politician. Like, it was a woman. Oh God, I can't forget her name. She was a blonde. I remember the picture. Like, oh God, I have to look her up. But it was the same situation. She was having a relationship. She was married at the time, so I guess it was like a threesome or open marriage. I don't know if I remember this. Oh crap! I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to look this up. But yeah.
I don't recall it myself.
Well, lucky dude with a threesome open marriage with a blonde chick. I mean, who's this guy? I'm more interested in hearing about him.
No, it's a female politician. Let me see, female politician. Let me look. You continue the conversation. I'm gonna look this up.
No problem. No problem. RW, go ahead. Continue the conversation. And go.
Well, if we're sticking on the whole banging people you work with and getting in trouble for it, I got nothing. Don't do it.
Fair.
Don't do it. Get a finger wagging.
Yeah,
finger wagging.
You'll get a lot of stuff wagged at you.
Katie Hill.
I do recognize the name.
Did she get in trouble, or what was the outcome?
Let's see, just 2019 of California, inappropriate relationship with a campaign staffer.
Well,
Yeah,
I
because
do
it was.
remember a particular politician who did have an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. His name went under the name of Bill Clinton.
Oh my! Oh my! Can you?
I did not have sexual relations
oh
with
my.
that woman.
I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that a president would get a blowjob, and then the woman would save the fucking dress that he did his thing on for how many years? God almighty.
Why isn't that considered weirder?
That is 100%. Yeah.
I don't know.
God,
That's
can you
leverage.
imagine that in
Leverage.
the Me Too era? God.
No. Okay. So the funniest thing I've ever found with Bill Clinton, like at one point, it was proven he was on the phone actively with the president from fucking Russia. He was eating a pizza, smoking a cigar, and getting his dick sucked under the desk all at the same time. I'm
That's
just
what
saying, like that is some other level shit. I'm not sure if you can say that that's awesome or not, but that is like next level.
What the?
How many people can say that?
Yeah, I guess you can, but still, I mean, like, God, he could have opened a White House to a sexual harassment suit.
That's disgusting. Last Dance.
There's one person in the world who can say that, and that is Bill motherfucking Clinton, because nobody else probably ever. I don't know. I mean, Kennedy
Bill
probably
Cosby.
did something like it, but I don't think pizza was that popular back then.
Yeah, I heard.
JFK probably did it with like maybe clam chowder. I don't know, but yeah, pizza part. That's the hard one.
God, oh my goodness.
That has so many meanings now. I don't know what to say, Steve.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Calm
That is something else.
Wait, was it JFK with the balls thing? With when he was talking to his tailor?
I think that was Nixon.
It was Nixon. Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that
familiar.
was.
So hilarious line of like, for whatever reason, this was recorded text or a phone conversation where he's talking to his tailor, and he's like, "Yeah, like I always find the groin area a little bit too tight. If you could da 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 da." And I mean, it's like completely unscripted, like a legitimate conversation. But apparently, the dude has just such massive fucking balls. He needed his suits tailored to fit his fucking balls.
That's the type of leader you need.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
JFK's famous one was, I think it was referring to some kind of sports event. I don't know if it was the Olympics or what, but JFK was like talking to maybe some head of state, and he said, "What are we sending over there? A bunch of girls?" And that was, I don't know much about that. I just remember that.
The one thing I always remember, I think his wife. There's rumors that her, when she, by the time he died, she was alone with his body for maybe a few minutes, and she kissed his penis. That's what I heard. Because I guess she wanted to be because he's known for being a philanderer. I guess she wanted to be the last woman to do it.
Jacqueline Kennedy, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Never heard that.
I heard some rumor going around.
That's a new one.
I mean, I feel like it's it could have been true if we didn't know about it, but the fact that it's actually said, like, that's not something that anybody would talk about. Feel like, hey, you're alone with a corpse and you do a thing.
I don't think
Was this in Air Force One in front of everybody?
I think she was alone with the body. I don't think it was maybe it was in Air Force One, but I know they say she was alone with the body. She wanted to be the last woman to be
Well,
there.
if she was alone, then nobody else would know, and the rumor could never have started.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, and it's also I doubt they would record a corpse
with the win.
Nice stuff.
That's terrible.
It could be, I don't know. People do strange things with, in grief, I guess. So
I mean, that's the part where I'm just like, I would believe that it happened. I disbelieve it more because we're hearing that it happened. It's something that I'm like, how would people know about that?
It's
like,
something
obviously,
I think it came from some biographer, I heard.
but why would she ever tell anybody that? Like, yeah, I kissed my dead husband's corpse's penis.
Very
let me talk about that. Like, I don't understand why any woman would actually divulge that information.
Well, I believe it.
Problem solved.
I don't know.
I mean, to be frank, she went from JFK to not some farm boy or some businessman. She went to Aristotle Onassis. I'd say she was kind of a clout chaser, that woman. I mean, she appeared to prefer men who were of a higher stature.
I guess. But did she come from money though? Did she?
Yeah, she came for money.
Because I know her cousins were rich. Of them, the famous two. Those famous, Grey Gardens. I forgot the names. I think they were cousins, and
Her maiden name was Bouvier.
Bouvier, yeah, Bouvier.
Beauvoir.
Beauvoir. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's I guess you could call her a blue blood.
But
Yeah.
true blue means in Australia, it means you're born and raised Australian outback. So what does blue blood mean?
I'm thinking old. I'm thinking
Old
East,
money, yeah. That's,
old money, East
Okay.
Coast, old money.
There's
So
sort of there's an Ivy League part to that too.
Yeah.
Is it weird that it's called a blue blood, but blue collar is the opposite and is the poor people? Why isn't it like a white blood?
I think it's a vampire thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like a white blood would make more sense in terms of hey, white collar is the rich motherfuckers. I don't know.
I think they use white power. That's the phrase they use for that.
Maybe.
Oh
my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna.
No comment. Aha! I got a segue. If you guys want a segue, and let you guys talk about penises more if you want. But
No, segue, please. Pull us out of hell. I know that it's my place, but pull us out of hell.
I did not know this product even existed, but Meta created a Ray-Ban glass that is like a camera glasses you can wear, wearable camera, and they're getting smacked with a massive lawsuit right now because people found out that instead of that footage going to computers, it was actually also able to go to third-party human beings that were watching these people at inappropriate times doing things.
Ooh.
So, first of all, has anybody here heard of these Ray-Ban glasses that have been around for a year?
No,
You
I
have
They've been around for longer than a year.
Yeah.
My son was
one.
wondering because my son gets glasses. He didn't even wear them, but we get free glasses every year, so he's always stoked that he can go and get these Gucci rims that he never even puts on for free. And they had the Ray-Ban ones, and I was like, why don't you see if you can get those ones? He was like, I was thinking about asking about it. But yeah, so they had the big display in the middle of the showroom about those glasses.
they're just camera glasses, right?
basically, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
They
not
might have
familiar with
speakers. They might have speakers
Okay.
back there. Maybe, I don't know.
You know, you would think we would get rid of glasses by now with all the eye surgeries.
I mean,
True.
yes, but more importantly, not more importantly,
Yeah.
if this technology is in society, there's actually a person that created an app that vibrates your phone when someone comes near you that has them on, so you can
Ooh.
tell if you're being recorded or you know if you're no longer just not being recorded. Like I think what grabbed my attention is, one, we're moving even more into a surveillance state with more wearables and whatever. And two, this is just another device that can be hacked. And not even in this case, it's not even hacked. It's corporate, third-party contract for corporate that's able to view you when you don't think that they are inappropriately. So I don't know. It's just it was an interesting news feed article.
Maybe,
Well-
hopefully, you know.
When you put the glasses down, if they're, I guess theoretically they could still be viewing whatever you're doing.
I would think as long as there's battery in them, it could be a technology that could be accessed.
So doesn't that go for anything like a computer, a phone?
Absolutely.
Right, but we're usually not like wearing our phone in some of the situations where we could be recording ourselves in mirrors and stuff.
Who wears their Ray-Bans when they're having fun?
Oh, these were real glasses.
Yeah.
These are prescription glasses
Oh,
Yeah.
with a
Why would you
Ray-Ban frame.
Okay.
I take
I
my
would
glasses
also-
off when I'm about to have fun. I don't want to break them.
Oh, you were? I didn't know you were.
I would also say though, if you've ever been to like South Padre, you might be in your swimsuit wearing a pair of glasses where you're getting jiggy with it. Just
Right.
saying, you're not going to take your glasses off. Like, yeah, like you're in the pool or the ocean or wherever you are. Maybe there's a bunch of people around, but everyone's fucked up and nobody cares. And you're going to go to Pound Town with fucking 50 people around, whatever.
You've lived an interesting life, my friend.
I don't know if we should-
Padre Island, Texas. I've always wanted to visit there.
It's an experience. I'm not going to say it's the best experience. It's an experience.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go for the bird watching, so, to be honest.
Bird watch might have a different meaning down there.
Yeah.
Very
Another
nice.
thing that was interesting that happened was that Marine that stood up to protest. I don't think it was Noam's hearing. I can't remember. It was around that time that she was having her hearing.
Yes.
But he stood up in full regalia, dress regalia, and then they basically manhandled him out. He put his hand in the door, and they just took him anyway, and it broke his arm, and his arm was stuck. But I didn't think it was broken when I was watching the footage because he didn't even register that his shit snapped.
Maybe
My
it was
arm snapped. I'd be
adrenaline.
going nuts.
Probably adrenaline.
Well, I mean, he's a fucking moron, so I'm not surprised he didn't notice he had a broken arm.
Or could have been all fucked up.
But it's like, look, I don't understand why people insist on, refusing, to leave. It's like, okay, they're gonna force you to leave. I don't understand why people make it a big deal out of this. I mean,
Did you see the after the next video that was in the line of that when he keeps yelling "Free Palestine" as he's being let out?
No, I haven't watched anything past where they finally get his hand out of the door.
All right. Well, he's a real Free Palestine guy. He wears that Palestine scarf thing.
kafir.
And he's all pro-Palestine and anti-Israel, and his wife wears a hijab and she's Palestinian. And
Why doesn't he just set himself on fire like the Air Force guy did?
Oh my goodness, that
Damn.
You're against, so you guys
or
are
that
against
or
his
that
action.
whore we were talking about earlier.
You guys are against his action of
Oh, let's not call her that, please. She was a nice person. Let's not call her that.
based dance instead of last dance on that. Very nice.
I don't understand the obsession that so many people have with this conflict. I don't get it. It's like I don't have no dog in the fight. I don't understand the obsession. Like random people that have nothing to do with this, like are emotional and like I don't get it.
Because it gets likes on the Facebook when they post
Yeah.
about them, doing their work.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it is like the virtue signaling aspect. Like there's certain things it's like, hey, if you're saying this thing, then you're with the in group. And right now that's, hey, be pro free Palestine, be anti-Israel, even if it means supporting Iran somehow. I don't know why anybody would ever want to support Iran, but I mean, yeah, people generally dislike genocide. That's true, but at the same time, that word is so fucking abused. You can't even talk about a military conflict without somebody saying, "Oh, it's fucking genocide. There's literal genocide going on." Comparing it to like Hitler and his death camps. Like it's the most hyperbole, like extremist level of fucking words, and it's like you can't even have a conversation about a war without one side or the other or both being accused of genocide. It's crazy.
It's insane. It's like, and I remember when last year, I think Trump announced there was some type of deal, like maybe a start of a deal, a ceasefire. He got a ceasefire. And then the sheer, like, everybody was negative. It's like, God, do you want progress or not? You kept on bitching about it for like the last 2 years. You finally got something. You should be happy.
Right. Yeah, Trump is weird, he goes on about not wanting war and he kind of runs on an ender of wars, and then there's war. I guess some people might argue that the Iran thing was necessary to avert a greater war, which I could see, but I don't really see him as ingenuous in what he's saying,
Yeah, I mean, what was the platform launched on? Is hey, government spending is out of control. We need to stop government spending. Like that's my big thing. I'm going to stop government spending. First thing, the first bill that they pass, greatest spending bill in human history for any country ever. Second thing they do is like what? Try to buy an entire fucking country, and then they launch one of like most expensive wars ever. Just spending Tomahawk missiles, which is like $1.2 million per fucking missile, like they're fucking cotton candy, just launching them all over the place. And it's like, oh yeah, we're getting spending under control, bro. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Do you think they'll recap it in oil?
No.
I mean,
no
there's one way possible that I see, and that is if they leverage the economy of the entire global network so hard that money is not going to matter anymore, and America is just going to be the end all be all of the standard of money, and then money just doesn't mean anything to America. And
weren't you the one that was telling me that one oil tanker is worth billions of dollars?
Yes. I'm not sure about billion. I would say hundreds of millions. Absolutely. Hey. As much as I hate AI, let's fucking kind of fact check this.
Hells, what have I done?
I assume Cup is talking about the one that sunk the Iranian battleship. I don't really know a lot about that torpedo, but sounds like a bad torpedo right there.
Apparently, that was the first ship sunk by a torpedo in a very long time.
Since World War II.
Since
World War II. Yes. That thing is so cool.
The back of the ship fucking folded in half, dude.
Two things with this. Yes, oil tankers, 60 to 150 million, based on 2 million barrels and fluctuating market prices. So yes, they are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, not billions. If I said billions, I was wrong.
Okay.
But $150 million is not a small chunk of change for one ship.
Well,
the other thing, that fucking torpedo is the coolest thing ever. I actually dug into the metrics of that thing. It can go 75 miles an hour underwater.
Very cool.
I mean, Dude, like that in itself is pretty cool. But the other thing is it doesn't even impact the ship. It's an air like it's a proximity burst thing that targets the keel, and that's like the backbone of the ship, a very specific part under the back of it, and it goes under it by a measured distance, then shoots a plasma jet of fucking pressure upwards, and it snaps the ship in half like the fucking Titanic, blows it in the air, and then the entire thing sinks. Like
That's
it
what
is.
it looked like.
Oh no! It's literally what it does, and it's like a 5-stage explosive process of like the kinetic things of like it creates the plasma jet, but then it creates a vacuum that then implodes and creates a second plasma jet. Like, dude, it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever dug into as far as explosive. I'm a little bit of an explosive nerd.
So is that a new
My
technology? Is that a brand new? Like we just showed them something that no one saw before?
I don't know how new it is. I'm just I'm letting my tism show, and I'm a little bit of an explosives nerd, kind of my specialty in the military. Yeah.
Oh no, information. Damn.
Oh yeah. But like I went full fucking nerd on this, and I was like studying the shit out of it. It like, dude, it is like a 4-stage explosive thing that's manipulating molecules going apart, coming back together, creating a concussive explosion, creating plasma jets. Like there is so much going on with that thing. That is the coolest fucking weapon I've ever heard of.
Very cool.
They call it
Luckily,
the
we blew it up, so there will be no more weapon to study in that one for somebody to steal it. I mean,
no one's stealing it unless we gave it to them.
Yeah.
very very interesting.
The Mark 48 weighs 3,500 pounds.
Almost 2 ton. Not bad.
It's 19 feet long.
Yeah, it's like a school bus that's like 28 inches around. Like the thing is a fucking monster.
It also doesn't need oxygen. Its fuel doesn't need oxygen, so it can operate at extreme depths.
So it's almost like a rocket.
Yes, it's an underwater rocket that goes like 75 miles an hour underwater, and it doesn't even create the launch noise. Like there's a whole thing with that too.
What's the propulsion system?
2 counter-rotating propulsors to cancel out torque and reduce cavitation, making the torpedo harder to detect.
Like it's fucking silent.
we used one. We used one.
Yeah, that was just one of them, and it automatically does this thing. Like the sub could have shot it and then just gone away. They just wanted to fucking world star it by having the periscope record this shit because they knew what was going to happen. Like,
so this is cool. It is connected to the sub with a wire.
Wow.
But if the wire breaks, it can go autonomously.
Yeah.
So that wire is feeding out at 75 miles an hour.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
insane.
Yes, it's a thing.
And then how much distance? That would be a nautical. I mean, it wouldn't be a nautical mile. That'd be way too far. How far away are they?
They can probably do 8 or 9, 10 miles of wire.
The official range is 5 miles. And it says
5
likely
miles
much
of wire feeding out at 75 miles an hour. That's
it
ridiculous.
says likely much further.
Yeah,
I doubt that its max range is going to go off the wire, though. It's probably going to be like maybe 1 mile of range, and then it's going to go autonomous or something.
Why have it on a wire at all? Why not have it autonomous from the beginning?
Because there's direct control aspects where you don't have to send out signals through the sea, which can be detected, which is the entire thing of a submarine is trying to be sneaky and saying, hey, we're not going to send detectable signals.
Yeah, that question made me sound real retarded, so thanks for that.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Also, the submarine has bigger, better sonar and computers to process data and steer the torpedo, which necessarily has smaller, less powerful systems.
And with the wire, you're also less susceptible to any interference.
Correct.
And that's why they're going with these wired drones now in fucking Ukraine, because blocking and interference appears to be a pretty reasonable way to deal with the ones that are radio frequency. So
I have a question though. Are we going?
Isn't all that wire bad for the environment?
Exactly. Are we
Have you
pulling that
seen
wire
some
back
of the
in?
pictures? Like,
Are we
some
pulling
of
it
the
back?
battlefields have like fucking wires just all over them. It's unbelievable.
That's bad for
They look like
dolphins.
India.
Hey, we got to build Charlotte's Web, right?
What?
Charlotte's Web. We just gonna have drones blow each other up until we have a giant web of shit over us, and then we're gonna catch a spider or something.
Oh,
And a pig's gonna talk to us, and we're gonna have a good time.
Are you on drugs?
I'm just trying to correlate the. Never mind.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool if they brought the wire back in, just personally, and threw it away instead of letting it catch a dolphin. and
right.
kill it.
Right.
See,
Hey.
war is terrible, mostly because the dolphins being hurt.
Dolphins are bad people. Did I ever tell this story about how a dolphin sexually assaulted my date?
Was she asking for it?
Oh. This is a little bit of a tangent. It's a little bit of outside what this is. But I went to Dubai, met a friend up there, and they have this mall up there. This ridiculous mall. They had they had a ski slope in there. They had a aquarium. You could go swim with the fish in there, and they also had like a penguin petting zoo. You could play fetch with the penguins. We played fetch with the penguins. Met these two cute chicks that weren't from Dubai, obviously, that they were, whatever. And one wanted to, like, they had like a swim with the dolphins kind of thing, and it was like this like giant kiddie pool, but it had a dolphin in it. Anyway, she goes in there, is in her bikini, looking cute. She's playing with the dolphin. It's like bumping a ball back at her. Everything's cool. And then Flipper gets a little bit frisky, and he kind of,
Yeah.
And then he starts getting more frisky, and he starts like nuzzling her right up in her hoo. And she's kind of like pushing down on him and laughing and stuff. And I'm like, just kind of trying to play into the funny thing. I try to act like I'm pissed off at Flipper. I'm just like, hey, motherfucker, that's my girl, or whatever. This dolphin came up and it spit water in my face. I got punked by a dolphin.
That's
after
right.
it. Yeah, after it
Right.
sexually assaulted my date, I got punked by a dolphin.
And then she went home with the dolphin. No, Hells, you go on. I'm gonna hang out here for a while.
Yeah, but literally, my girl got sexually assaulted by a dolphin, and I got punked by the dolphin. And afterwards, I was like, "What can I do? Like, I'm not gonna jump in the pool and fight a dolphin. Like, what kind of dickhead would I be for doing that?" I was just like, I have no cards here. I just got bitched out by a dolphin.
That's why I don't hang out with rich dolphins.
Yeah.
Poor dolphins are nicer.
Yeah, I don't see the
Anyways.
reason why people would swim with a big giant animal. But hey, that's just me. You learned your lesson.
I don't know. These days, I advocate that dolphin rape is wrong, and I do not mean people raping dolphins. I mean dolphins trying to rape people.
Both are
Yeah,
bad.
Dolphin rape,
Both are
important thing. They know what they are doing. They know what they are doing, and they are wrong.
Anyone else here ever swam with dolphins?
No, I never swam with them.
No. I knew that they were rapists, so I never did it.
Yeah, me no.
That's wisdom.
I'm not
That
going
stands
in-
for wisdom.
I hate fucking dolphins, so I'm not going in with the fucking.
What exactly did that sentence just mean? I'm confused.
dolphin. What do you mean?
Say that again.
I hate dolphins.
Oh, that was different. That's different. I get it.
Same as I hate seals. They all are horrendous.
What's
love
wrong with
your-
videos? Nothing.
Anti-dolphite.
Yeah, well, I mean, you ever seen like a dolphin? If you're trying to reel in a fish and they're fucking all over your fish, they're going to be like chomping the shit out of your fishing line. If they hook on the gear, they're going to snap your line. They might snap your rod. They're obnoxious. They don't fucking catch their own fish. They'd rather steal your fish.
They don't really know.
They're like, hey, you got it on the line. I can.
They don't really understand fishing. They just see a distressed fish go by and it looks like an easy meal.
No doubt,
That- or
they're
they like
way
sperm
more
people.
intelligent than seals. Yet another reason I dislike them.
I think dolphins do understand the concept of fishing, and they're like, hey, these motherfuckers are going to get a hold of this fish, and before they can take hold of it, it's going to be helpless, and I can eat it. Like, I 100% that I think that dolphins are smart enough, and they recognize that. And they're just like, fuck you, buddy. I'm taking your catch.
We're turning them into
Suck,
seagulls.
loser. You know, yeah.
Essentially, we are. And I watch a lot of YouTube fishing videos, and some of these guys in Florida know these dolphins. Once these dolphins lock onto a boat, they fucking follow the boat around, and they're pretty fast, man. Like,
Yep.
they can swim 20 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
Not as
I
fast
don't
as a
even know.
torpedo.
I think they can.
No.
They
Apparently,
seem to be able to find these fuckers wherever they go. They can't get rid of them. They can't shake these dolphins.
Good one, Cup.
so have we all collectively decided that dolphins are bad creatures?
No, I think they're
I'm not
amazing.
on the I hate dolphin side.
Okay. Well, we have a split decision. Are dolphins shitty animals? We got a 2-2, and Aphid's undecided.
Well, I mean, if they're smart enough to try to fool around with some hot chick in the water, then I mean, I actually respect them a little more these days. You know.
Damn, the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker. Apparently, officially, dolphins are cool, and I'm mad about it because Flipper punked me.
Well, I'm not surprised about Last Dance. He's a vegan, so he wants things to live. But RW, you're a farmer.
I don't farm dolphins.
But I mean, you would understand, like, a guy who,
Yet.
a fisherman, would be like anti-dolphin because it's stealing his crop, per se.
I can understand like why the fisherman doesn't want to not have fish, but for me, it's the animal that lives in its environment, and I don't go in its environment really. I'm not a shark fan, and I've been told that dolphins will protect me from sharks, which I hate much more. So,
Well,
I
what
don't
about
have
the
fish.
animals that steal your crops? What do you do with them? You pat them on the head and say, "Have some more, chow down, buddy."
I do until they get nice and plump.
And you fucking blast them, dude.
Yeah, once they're nice and plump and fatty, that's when I club them on the head more than pat them and consume
Fine,
that.
fine. So why can't, fishermen blast away at the dolphins?
Are they going to make it nice and plump and eat it afterwards, or are they just going to end its
I
life?
don't know. No one wants to eat the
No,
dolphins. It's too gamey.
the mercury content is so any kind of like animal that eats animals in the sea builds up mercury content. So you don't really want to eat the predator animals, to include sharks and dolphins and whatnot.
Don't eat me, that's
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
dolphin would be the ultimate mercury bomb. They're
Yeah.
literally stacks on stacks of fish.
What about whales?
But whales, a lot of them are okay. Like a lot of them are, they go up plankton and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, they eat pretty
whale
low on
fat
food.
is- yeah.
What about humpbacks?
Well-
They're toothed whales would be the more
Yeah.
important question.
Yeah, I mean, there's also killer whales. I mean, I imagine there's lines with it, but
I don't seek them for food, so I don't
Yeah.
have many.
RW, are squirrels common around your parts?
Their hawks are common, and coyotes are common. So squirrels are here, but they're not as abundant as they are up in Maryland, where they don't have that predator population wiping them out.
I just
Like
wondered
squirrels,
if
when I
you-
lived in Maryland, they would like shred the deck, they'd shred the cars, they just destroy everything. They're tree rats.
Does the weather
tree
take
rats. Thank you.
Have you eaten a squirrel?
No, but my neighbor will if I ever shoot them.
Oh my god! I don't even think I don't. That's
They're very nutty, I
What do you
heard. All they eat is
Ah.
fucking nuts. So the
Deep
meat
nut.
is super nutty and delicious, I heard.
So wait,
More for you, man.
is
I was trying. Sure.
like
I'll eat it.
you guys have heard of like Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yes.
Would a squirrel's nuts be the nuttiest nut that's possible to eat?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck? What was the question?
It's a tiny nut, though. It's minuscule. It's too small.
It's too
Yeah.
much preparation.
But it's a nut made out of nuts, yeah, right? Like, I mean, I don't know.
I think the meat is more of the nutty variety. The testicle might be less nutty than the meat.
I've never ever thought these thoughts when I've been dealing with rodent and vermin.
I looked up the dolphin mercury thing.
Okay, so
Dolphins are so incredibly high in mercury that you can, just by eating dolphin, you can get acute mercury poisoning. That most governments set the safe limit for seafood at around 0.4 parts per million. Samples of dolphin meat have frequently tested between 5 and 100 parts per million, which is like 200 or 300 times that. Some specific organs, like liver, have been found with concentrations over 900 parts per million, thousands of times the legal limit. So don't eat dolphins.
Sure.
Dolphin
Yeah,
liver and onions.
So what we're basically saying is
Clarice!
we don't
Wait,
want to take
Jacob,
your wire
do
back.
do you eat liver and onions ever?
Who?
I would. I don't know. I'd try anything. I don't.
But you don't
I've had
cook it.
liver
That's not
before.
a weekly.
No, but I
round
do
of-
make chicken gizzards. I love chicken
Oh,
gizzards.
how do you
I mean-
buy them? Bag of gizzards?
In a
Gizzards
jar.
are fucking. I'll tell you this right now. Gizzards. If you're poor, gizzards are dirt cheap.
What about
You can get
anything
you can-
else than a gizzard?
I believe you because you're you.
They taste like
Gizzards
dirt, but they're
are
cheap.
one of the cheapest meats you can buy at the grocery store.
It's
for
not a
sure.
meat. It's awful, bro.
Well, I mean, it's technically a meat.
I mean,
Oh,
I would
technically, it's
think.
an organ. It's an
Animal
organ.
protein.
It's not a meat. It's classified.
Yeah,
under-
is a meat got to be muscle? I guess I don't know. I never really thought about it. I never.
Well,
thought
Yeah,
about
any
that.
part of an animal is meat.
Yeah, so
except
it's
for the
meat.
bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The term is awful because it's an organ. It's organ meat. It's
Well, man, I tell you, if what I do
It's not
is
that bad.
what I do is coming from a vegan, Jesus, one of the most hated meats of anything, and he's on board with it.
We should call
So
him.
what I
vegan
do with
gizzards.
it is
That'd be
I put them
acceptable.
in my Instapot because it one of the problems with gizzards, if you get them at some places, they fry them too long and they get super hard. They'll like
you're
break your
buying
teeth trying to eat 'em.
pre-fried.
No, they're raw, and then you
Oh,
put them in the Instapot, and that makes everything deteriorate to nothing. And then you take it and you bread it, and then you deep fry it. And I don't know, gizzards I think are one of the perfect. If you like ranch dressing, there's no better vessel than a gizzard. I don't think
Wow.
to
Wow.
serve that ranch dressing to you.
Wow.
I'll stick with deep fried pickles, man.
So the main dish is the ranch dressing, and the gizzard is just a delivery mechanism.
Well,
Sounds about
yeah,
right.
I don't know. There's something like I like
it's
clams.
like
too.
the chips and salsa, like
clams.
you know,
Clams are real similar, and even to an extent.
No, no.
Calamar, fried clams.
Yeah, fried
And to
clams
a
go
cer-
with tartar sauce.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the texture of it on the. Some people have a problem with too chewy of meats, and a clam is definitely chewy. A calamari is a little bit less chewy than a clam, and a turkey or a chicken gizzard is a little bit more. It's probably the most chewy out of those three examples. But there's not a lot of meats aren't. If they're chewy, a lot of people don't like them. So people don't.
Right.
They have a problem with textured, chewy meats, and,
Well,
and
I mean, that's why people like filet mignon. It's fucking tender, bro.
Did you just put the T on filet?
Nobody's buying like chuck steaks because they're chewy.
you kept the G silent though.
You buy the filet mignon. It's
The
fucking
Brits pronounce the T in filet mignon.
damn right we
Do
did.
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
Miguel.
But yeah, but they keep the G silent. It's like go. It's all or nothing,
I don't
Ain't
know.
nothing but a G thing. Baby.
I mean, there's also the Asian version. If you go to the Chinese restaurants, the filet mignon.
Ming,
Oh,
filet Ming Dynasty. And there's Zoltan. He's back. What up, dog? Good to see you.
Yo,
Welcome back.
what's better than Worcestershire on a steak? If you have a incredibly good steak,
Why are you
Just
guys
go
saying
salt
these
and
things so
pepper.
terribly?
Worcestershire sauce, I think is what he's trying to say.
Worcestershire?
I call it Worcestershire. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. Like
That's
anybody
most
can pronounce
people
that
in
thing.
America, I know, say
Yeah.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, but yeah,
How is it pronounced? Worcestershire, right?
It's Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce. Yeah,
I say
It's
Worcestershire
got
sauce, not
anchovies in it,
proper.
so you ain't eating it. Last dance.
But if you have an incredible cut of meat, all you really need is a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You don't need to marinate it. You don't need to season it. You don't need to do shit to it. And you just cook that thing right and nice. And man, that is the best steak you'll have in your life.
Right, because you just spent all your money on that steak anyway, so you don't have money for condiments.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna put ketchup on your fucking steak, you don't need to get the nice steak. Just get your
No.
crappy sirloin and just bake it up and throw some barbecue sauce on it. And
I'm going to go down to Walmart and pay $80 for an overweighed steak when I only got a half a pound. And I'm
Hey.
going to use a bunch of ketchup on it because it tastes like a rug.
I'm so happy I got that message out there, by the way, on the fucking Walmart overwhelming. Like, since then, I've had like 10 people hit me up being like, hey, man, yeah, I did go to my Walmart and I actually took the fucking steak from their steak aisle, looked at the weight of it, and stuck it on a scale, and it was fucking wrong. Like, it's a thing, dude. Like, Walmart is fucking everybody. Fuck Walmart.
Man, you can get a good deal on a steak at Walmart. I'm just saying, if you look at the you're gonna pay a lot less. I don't care what their weight. I don't care what their weight thing says. You know, if you can get a good steak at Walmart, don't be sleeping on them. I'm telling you, they might fuck you over on the, but the price per pound is so cheap, and you can get a good one because I mean USDA Prime is USDA Prime, and if you pay attention to the banding of the fat inside there, you can get a damn good steak at Walmart.
You know, it's one of the things I like about Walmart. Like, whenever I eat their steaks, I can just taste the slave labor in the meat, you know?
It's so tender.
I just taste the oppression.
I hate Walmart and their practices and where they are, but I mean, just like everything else, you know, I mean, if it
money talks.
If it's the time of day where they're the only option I got going and there's something there that I can get, I'm a total hypocrite and I'm going to go there and I'm going to get it.
The best place to get chicken.
I'm not strong enough to say I can't go into a Walmart.
The best place to get chicken is frozen from the Family Dollar. You can get
Family Dollar.
Two frozen chicken legs. I've never purchased them because I just look at them and say, how and where and why, and I walk past them, but they're there for $1. You can get 2 chicken legs frozen.
2 chicken legs?
$1 for 2 chicken legs?
It's like the whole thigh part piece.
No,
I almost believe that because the legs are really cheap. So I mean, I like legs, but my family, they think that I only like meat that's on a bone because I do. I like holding a bone. And I like non-meat off of a bone.
Right. It's excellent when you have a beard. It just
it
lathers the beard.
Piece over here, a piece over here.
Snacks for legs.
Leg meat is really cheap, and trust me, Last Dance will vouch for me. He's gonna know that I know the cheapest forms.
Absolutely.
You would buy meat from Family Dollar. I abandon you. I abandon you right now.
No, I don't go to Aldi's either. Not because I'm a snob or anything. Just
that's why I don't go.
This is not thing.
It's like going back in time to a World War II ghetto, going into an Aldi.
Well, the fact that you gotta pre-plan your trip there with having change in your pocket to get a cart and the whole.
I just take all the carts. I just pull all 12
box
carts
situation or like you got to bring your own shit there or something. I don't even know what's going. Every time I get there, I'm like I got like barely like I can only have ever bought what I can get at Aldi's, what I can fit in my arms comfortably. Because I refuse to pay a quarter for some cart or sitting out there waiting for some schlub to come out.
Well, you get the quarter back, don't you?
Well, I don't know. That's the principle of it. Do they give you the quarter? Do they give you the quarter back?
I used to.
I don't have that
Maybe
problem.
maybe they do. I don't know.
Like
I've
I
never
live in
given a quarter to find out if they give you the quarter back because I'm too cheap to give.
God forbid.
And besides, what do they go? They got to hold on to my quarter for a while. Fuck that
David, you need to
shit.
live where we are because usually when you go
That's
to get
my
a cart,
quarter.
the old lady just gives you her quarter and says, "Here, keep it." And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to sit there like you're panhandling, waiting for somebody to like come at the right time so you could like, hey, can I have your cart? You know, it's ridiculous. And then like, the paying for the bags these days, it like just this shit burns me up. Or now the paying, I talked about a couple months ago. I think the paying for like if you want an extra tub of barbecue sauce, if you go and like get fast food and you got to pay, it's like 55 cents for that shitty little plastic tub
The
of
high
like
fructose
crappy
caramel coloring.
barbecue sauce for my fries. What is this?
You eat barbecue sauce
Yeah.
with your fries?
Oh man, I'll eat.
Oh, dude,
barbecue sauce.
I am that kind of heretic as well. I will do that all day.
Yeah.
But so I have a strategy on the Aldi fucking grocery cart thing. You see, I am privileged enough to live in a very impoverished community where there's lots of homeless people around that have grocery carts. So all you have to do is on the way to your trek to the grocery store is find one of those homeless people, and then you got to just kick their grocery cart over and dump out all of their worldly possessions, and you throw that shit in the back of your car, you know, and then you don't have to pay that quarter back.
Do you
I feel
bring,
smarter
you
after
know,
hearing this.
Clorox wipes to wipe down that handle that you got to put your hand on?
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
no,
dump
it-
it into the pond.
it-
and pull it
Because
out.
I know where
yeah,
those
it-
homeless hands have been.
I mean, it adds an extra level of seasoning to the
Like-
$1 fucking chicken legs.
The handle on a cart's worse than a belt.
Oh, no,
I mean,
homeless
is it worse than a $1 bill though? Like, I mean, what is the cocaine content of a $1 bill?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Aphid's $1 bills or my $1 bills?
I imagine there's a difference in cocaine content between those two.
I
don't
sit
know.
there and I tap my dollar bills every single night into into a mirror. I've been.
It's
Some people have-
like the shake at the bottom of a fucking Keith
Well,
bottle. Yeah.
Some people have those
Oh,
those big mason jars filled with quarters and mostly pennies.
Yeah.
But no, I have a much smaller jar that I tap my dollar bills into. Every
How long does it take you to fill up a jar?
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay. That's a dank shake, man.
Get that good.
I forgot that Kang's here. He's just
Yeah.
chilling.
Hey, I found
Steve is gonna come back and be like, "What the fuck were y'all talking about? Dollar
Oh,
bills,
nothing.
cocaine jars."
Nothing to say here.
I heard the conversation upstairs through the wife's iPad.
Oh,
Oh boy. Oh
Sorry,
boy.
wife.
Aether Flip was complaining in classic fashion about a 6 cents per bag charge.
Yeah.
when it goes to the
Fuck that shit,
supermarket.
dude. And
So
you gotta
what
make
is
that decision. You gotta make that decision before the one place that started doing it up the street. Like you gotta tell them like when you first start doing your thing, they're like on you. But that's like the first thing. Like you already caused trouble. You know,
Do
coming
you
into my
have your
establishment.
own bags?
How
now?
many of these bags are you gonna use? And you tell me right now before you use a single bag that I have.
Oh yeah.
And
So,
it's just bullshit.
so
Do you
for
have your own
hold on.
bags? Do you have your
No,
own
I don't got my
bags?
own bag. What am I gonna carry? I tell you what though, I got this overloading mound of grocery store bags out because we still have them here, and we keep those bags for some reason. There's gonna be some apocalypse. There's gonna be some apocalypse someday where the hopefully I'm hoping that there's gonna be a grocery store bag, you know, like thing that's like it's like gold because I'm gonna be sitting like a king because I sometimes I can't shut the garage door because my entire garage is just filled with millions and millions of bags of
paper.
no those
No.
plastic ones.
So
Plastic.
no, like
the plastic ones.
that point right there though. If you think about it, like the entire argument that we have to pay for our own fucking grocery bags to save the environment. You motherfuckers remember when they offered paper or plastic? Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah.
Like we
Some of the
we
places
got
here
a bunch
still
of
do.
gray-haired motherfuckers in here, right? Like
Some of the places.
once upon a
places still
time,
do here.
you could choose paper or plastic, and now they're just like, oh, plastic bags are bad for the environment, so you need to pay us for bags.
For
like,
a plastic bag.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
Where I
like, this
live,
is a
they
little
just-
bit of bullshit.
yeah.
Like, bring back the fucking paper bag, you bitches. Like, if that's what you're about, where is my motherfucking paper bag? Give me my paper bag. Shut
like-
the fuck up and don't charge me shit.
We're
That's how it is
supposed
in
to
my
control
country.
our plastic bags or use like paper straws, and then I like the memes where they show like all these airstrikes that are happening in Iran right now as we're like drinking from a paper straw, doing our part, saving the world.
Even more so, they should be showing you massive coal-fired power plants all around
Just
the world.
spewing.
Clean
Just
coal.
spewing.
Clean
Spewing.
coal.
Hey, but it's clean coal, so it's better. Yeah.
It's clean
less
coal
dirty.
is better. It's way better, but your fucking straw
It is.
isn't going to even make a tiny dent compared to any of that. Or
Microplastic, dude.
Well, also the
I heard it's the
stupid
leading cause to the high level rate.
What is?
Dolphin,
what is
dolphin
that?
liver?
What is?
I think it's the I heard it was the leading cause of high oh, I missed my joke.
You heard
Mercury.
yourself thinking.
Mercury
bro.
levels in dolphin livers.
That was terrible.
That fell so flat.
So, but if you think about it, like with the paper straw, they give you a fucking paper straw and a cup that's made of mostly plastic, or it's at least coated in plastic, and with a plastic lid on top of it. And then they give you a fucking paper straw and act like it's fucking green.
Is the
like-
paper
like,
straw
can
wrapped
I-
in plastic?
You know what I'm saying? Like, could I get a fucking paper lid and a plastic straw instead? Like, you would save the same amount of material in a way that is not fucking retarded. I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
Hell's is going to be running for politics soon, so
It's
the
same
whole-
thing
these
as
are the
when you
things that
go.
change.
I bought just the other day. There was a bag of Idaho potatoes, $1.99 American. I think that's a damn good price for 5 pounds of Idaho's. But yet it comes in a fucking thick ass plastic bag.
Yeah.
Going back
I
to
mean,
Burlap.
and then you get to the register and they're like, "Do you want us to bag this?" I'm like, "What the hell am I gaining by having you put my plastic bag into that weak ass paper bag? 5 pounds of potatoes is going to tear right through it. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense." And you know, like, dude, I pointed this out a few weeks ago. There's so many things in the supermarket. All the cereals are in
Yeah, the
plastic
thick
bags.
the thick plastic, right.
Onions, and you buy a bag of yellow onions. They're a little cheaper. You get a ton of them.
You buy a
just
bag
as
of
good.
green oranges and a orange net that makes them look orange.
Green oranges? I never heard of such a thing.
Well, they're supposed to be orange, but they're not ripe. They just make them look orange.
Haven't had that yet up here. By the time
Really?
they get to us, they're orange. So I've
Really?
never seen that.
Well, congratulations, buddy, because they're cheating the system down here.
so to totally transition on conversation, but have you guys ever looked at the science on colors and taste?
No.
So super fucking wild thing where there's like stuff where like you could have the exact same food served on like a purple plate versus a white plate, and people will overwhelmingly report like one is more salty than the other, or like more sweet than the other. But like apparently the color of the fucking dish that you eat it off of, like the color that you're looking at as you eat, heavily impacts the way that you interpret flavor.
I mean, I struggle with that because we all have a different flavor palette anyway. Like me and my mom will eat something and she's like, there's it needs more salt. And I'm like, dear God, it tastes like anchovies. Like, you know, it's off the charts salty. So I struggle with the science. That's all.
Well, no, I'm not saying about the ratio of what exists. I'm just saying that, like, hey, the dish that it's served on, you could take the exact same piece of food, put it on a plate, and depending on the exact color of the plate, people are going to have completely different experiences. And it is very widely and commonly known and expressed. And it's something that's ridiculous that, like, nobody understands why. Like, why is it eating off a yellow plate versus a white plate versus a purple plate? You have different experiences on the taste of the exact same thing.
Maybe those people are racist.
No,
Yeah, Platist is Platist a thing?
Play-Doh.
Yellow plate, gross. Purple plate tastes like grapes. White plate tastes normal. Just simple. I mean,
So you're saying that you favor whites,
plates.
white plates.
White plates matter.
White plates matter.
I mean, I've been to restaurants where they serve you shit on like a dark gray, almost clay plate. I'm put off. I'm immediately like, what is this plate? What the hell is this thing?
Military grade plastic that's been around since World War
Dark
II.
ass plate fucking doesn't look normal.
What about those red plastic cups from Pizza Hut?
I mean,
They're so dirty, man. They're so gross. Just let them go.
I'm not opposed to a red Solo though. I gotta say,
A red Solo cup, yeah, but those plastic cups that have literally been around since we were kids, they just keep using them because the plastic was so industrial that it won't
yeah,
break.
I can't imagine how they're cleaning them. They must break down a little bit each time, going through the 200-degree dishwasher.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They've mastered it.
It's disgusting. You're right. I'll give you that.
East is just trolling, bro. He just literally used the word himself. You don't have to worry about that, man.
I'm just covering my bases. I don't know, man.
Who's sending me an email at fucking 10:53? Of course.
Here's a topic. The Justice Department has closed its inquiry into former President Joe Biden's use of an auto pen for signing presidential documents, saying prosecutors couldn't identify any law that was broken. The review was ordered last year by President Trump, who directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to examine whether Biden's aides used the device to sign key documents without his knowledge. Biden repeatedly rejected those claims. So that court case is closed, everyone. But I'm not sure if he's taken down the photo of the president.
No. But the ruling that you said wasn't that he didn't do it. It's that they found that it wasn't illegal.
They found, the wording basically is that they couldn't identify any law that was broken. So it's a very political.
So it wasn't that it didn't happen. It was that it wasn't, whatever they did was not technically illegal.
They never denied using the auto pen, so I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to know how much time and money was spent finding this.
Hopefully none, because hopefully the response was, well, Trump told us to look at this, but obviously there's no law against it, so we'll just pretend, and then 6 months we'll say we couldn't find any law against it.
It's possible. It's possible.
I mean, technically correct's the best kind of correct, right?
I mean, at the same time, we're supposed to have these paper straws. The president signing one document with a brand new pen and then throwing it at the crowd. So,
well,
I'd like to know how much one of those pens cost.
Those recycled.
There's probably some douchebag in the audience that's gonna be like, hey, I'll pay $1 million for that pen, and I want to shove it up my asshole because Trump signed something with it.
Wow,
That will lower the
that
value.
went somewhere fast.
Let me bring this near to the end, final subject, or maybe final. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But have you all noticed that there are these narratives that seem to gain traction and then everybody runs with them? Like AutoPen is a good one. It seemed like everybody was on the AutoPen thing. And then apparently these guys go in and analyze it legally, and they say there's actually nothing to it, but yet it gained incredible traction. And there's been other things that people just lock onto, and they actually turn out to be nothing. Is it a case of social media just blowing these things up and people latching on for just party lines, and they're like hoping that they're going to gain something from it? What the hell is happening here?
Of course, that's all it is. Absolutely, that's all it is.
It's a talking point that
Yes.
it becomes pervasive, and then people just forget about it. It goes away, and then there's the next one.
Here's the way I view it. I respect people debating about the morality and even the legality of the auto pen, especially when you're not even sure that the president is aware of what he's signing.
Right.
Here's what I don't respect: having the president of the United States, who knows nothing about law, tell a subordinate to investigate whether it's illegal to use the auto pen. This is the same president who got the Supreme Court to tell him nothing a president does is illegal.
You think that Joe Biden
Basically-
knows nothing about law?
No, Trump
No,
knows
he's
nothing
talking about
about
Trump.
law.
Well, Trump knows something about law.
I mean, once upon a time, Joe Biden probably knew something about law, but I think Elvis has left the building on that dude.
Oh yeah.
All right, fair enough. So continue. Obviously, Last Dance.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Yeah, I mean, people run with, especially these engagement farming grifters. They'll push anything that they put outrage bait because it gets them views, and they make money off of views, and they take no responsibility for what they say. They will even knowingly lie, because if you get paid $1,000 per lie, why would you care? So yeah, they push these things, things like, oh, the auto pen, the things signed with the auto pen are not valid, and Trump can ignore them.
Untrue, right?
Huh?
Untrue.
Oh, totally untrue.
But he
Right.
could sign something else that overrides it.
Who could sign something else that overrides what?
Trump could sign another executive order that overrides whatever the auto pen signature document said.
He
Because
could, but why? He just, it's even easier. He just can avoid using the auto pen if he doesn't believe it's legal.
No. I mean, if whatever, instead of ignoring all these things that were signed into law with the auto pen under Biden, President Trump, instead of ignoring them, has the right to sign his own executive order that does whatever he wants in opposition to what that last order was.
There was never an executive order that I know of authorizing the auto pen or not. Maybe there was, but I'm not aware of it. But in any event,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if Trump has an issue with any of the executive orders that were signed by AutoPen,
oh no, they weren't. They weren't. They largely were not executive orders. They were pardons, laws. Some laws were signed. No, they were not executive orders.
RW, you can't squeak anything by this motherfucker. He's still sharp with his red shirt.
I'm not trying to sneak. I'm trying to distinguish a difference between.
No, I know you're not trying to, but I'm just saying, man is sharp.
We're Team
You know,
Dolphin. We're on the
I
same
make
team.
everything up, to be honest. None of it's true.
No, you don't downplay yourself, you sharp bastard.
I caught you on something earlier. I just didn't waste energy.
Oh,
You know what I'm
here
You
we
just bank
go.
it.
Oh yeah,
Bank it away from those
I
hard
felt
times.
it anyways. I felt the disturbance in the force by your disapproval.
Disturbance in the
It was,
fart.
I remember what I remember what it was. It was when you were saying that Iraq, if Saddam Hussein was in power now, then Iran wouldn't might not have be as
Might
far
not
along as in their nuclear. And I just thought that was a little bit of a hypothetical. I mean, they could have. I don't know. I'm obviously ignorant on Iran's development stages of when or why they were developing. But I was thinking that they could have. It could have been ramped up even more because
I thought that as well at the time I said it. Or it could have actually developed faster for
right. That's what I
for
was,
pure self-defense reasons, especially
Right.
because Iraq also tried to build an atomic bomb.
right.
Yellow cake, right? Yellow cake.
No, it was funny. Back then, if you signed the nuclear non-proliferation agreement, countries would just hand you tons of, they would just hand you bomb-grade uranium, as long as you promised to use it in a research reactor and not in a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
So he actually had like France gave him like 25 kilograms of bomb grade uranium.
Are you sure it was actually bomb grade?
Yes, I'm sure it was bomb grade.
What does France have for nuclear weapons?
They have everything.
France is a nuclear superpower, yes.
Well, I mean, a lot or a few?
Oh, I don't know that they have a lot, but they have enough to be a very good deterrent.
What about the UK?
They also have
Yes, the UK does.
nuclear weapons.
Also, spoiler: Israel, nuclear superpower.
Not officially, but almost certainly
They are.
they are.
Definitely. I'm gonna head out with you guys. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, take it easy, Base. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. Peace.
So, one kind of tangential thing I thought was really amusing. Have you guys heard about how the UAE has removed funding for UK universities?
No.
No.
Yeah, so the United Arab Emirates, super Muslim nation. Their entire thing was like, hey, the UK has so many radicalized Muslims that it's problematic for our people to go over there and learn education stuff from Oxford or wherever the fuck. And we're going to cut off all funding because we no longer want our people to go over there because it's such a radicalized Muslim nation at this point.
Wow.
Think about that. Like, it is the the UAE is like saying like, hey, there's too many radical Muslims in fucking England that we're no longer gonna fucking fund having people go over there. Like, true story.
Isn't the UAE like a very, very, very liberal Muslim culture?
It's one of the much more accepting as far as Muslim cultures go. It's liberal. It's very, very, very conservative as far as any other metric. But it's liberal for Muslims, I would say.
Yeah, I think that somehow, like in Dubai, like the money changes things. If the wealthy aspect of the culture somehow makes them much more liberal towards the rest of the world, I guess because they want to continue to have that money. I don't know what it is. If they all have the same God and they all have the same doctrines, it's interesting that wealth makes them more tolerant.
I mean, also in the same note, you could say that Christians and Muslims and Jews all have the same God as well.
I would disagree that Allah is not Yahweh, but
why?
That's a large conversation because the doctrines and the character of those gods are extremely different.
But it's the same prophets, it's the same stories, it's the same text. Just Muslims decided to rewrite the motherfucker, and how's it any different? Like because they call it a different name.
It's not. I mean, before Muhammad, they would say that they're the same prophets, but then they won't obey what those prophets say. So they follow Muhammad, but not the other prophets, even though they're willing to say that they're prophets.
So what's that have to do with the God, though? If both of them are worshiping the same God,
what that God is telling its people. The God of the Bible is telling a very different narrative and has a very different character type, and salvation and everything is very different. Whereas in the Quran, it's not the same.
It sounds like different depictions of the same person. Like you could meet somebody that would say like, "Hey, I'm a pretty funny and nice guy." You meet somebody else, and they're gonna say like, "Yeah, Craig's a massive fucking asshole." Like
if one God is telling you to kill everybody and take over everything, and the other one's saying, "Vengeance is mine. I'll be coming back." That's a very different story.
I think that both both the Christian and Muslim religion both had the whole like, "Hey, let's kill a bunch of people." Like, did you not remember the
old
entire thing of
Jesus Christ?
The Old Testament of, hey, like kill every man, woman, and child and animal, and leave no two stones upon each other. Like, there's absolute slaughter and genocide going back into Christianity and Judaism. How is that much different?
Well, boy,
that's fine. We can go into that.
Okay.
I don't accept that it's the same.
I think we're coming to an end here.
I got one more thing I wanted to bring up.
Cool.
I just found the most disturbing YouTube video I've seen yet.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
all-time
yo,
record.
share it. I'll show it right now.
No, it's too long. I mean, it's half an hour. But
Half an hour.
Is it
it's
about dolphins?
and no, it's a true crime police video of them. The person, you will see this person in it who claims to be
What's the
innocent.
channel
and
name?
It's EWU Crime Storytime.
Oh,
I'll put the link in.
No, explore with us. Explore with us. EWU, we call it.
Explore with us. Okay, yeah.
It's different than uwu.
The title is Cop Opens Mom's Trunk and Uncovering Horrifying Secret. And it's not a euphemism. It's the trunk of
I've
a car.
seen that one. It's
Okay.
awesome.
This is
Thankfully,
you.
it's not a euphemism.
I challenge someone to watch it and not be so infuriated they will, they want to hurt somebody. I'll put the link in because it's just so
I'm gonna
incredibly
pass on
awful.
that experience.
Yeah, I definitely do think you should exercise veto power on actually watching it, but I feel
good.
compelled to
Where you putting
share.
it? I'm waiting for this link. I don't see it nowhere. Where is it?
It's there.
He's like, I'm down with the dark. Bring it to me.
Explore with Us has like 4 or 5 channels. They have Explore with Us, Body Cam, Explore with Us.
You see it now?
Crime.
If it's
Yeah,
a-
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
They're a very good channel, and they must make probably $2 million a month, I would say, from the amount of views they get.
Is
Could
it
be.
like a traffic stop or something?
Yeah, it starts out that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I
I
mean,
love those. I
you're-
love this.
You realize you can actually pull the metrics on the amount of money that YouTube channels make?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2 million a month, like you're setting a pretty high bar there. Most of them are.
Well, I
This
mean from
one.
all
This
their
channel.
channels.
This
Not
channel
from
is
the
I,
one.
killing.
I still think that's a very, very high bar. I don't think fucking PewDiePie makes that.
Probably not. Probably more like 2 million a year.
Maybe 500,000 a month or something, but 2 million a month, I don't think is tenable.
This
I-
video, it's almost good cinema because it builds in tension and horror slowly as it goes on. It's
I can't wait.
yeah.
Hopefully, it sits with me for a while. Those are the best ones.
Okay.
The
Okay.
live leak is coming out in the crowd.
Yes.
I'm all about it, man. You gave me something to dig into. Oh yeah.
Wait. Last Dance shared something as me.
I know. What's the difference?
Doesn't matter. It never matters. Nothing matters. All right,
I
here
didn't
we
notice.
go,
I didn't
boys.
notice that.
All right, we're shutting this sucker down.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Smoke Steve, for hosting it. I had a great time.
No
And,
problem.
glad to share the time with all of you people, and especially those in the chat. Take care,
No
all.
problem. Anytime. Hey, you
Oh,
two
good to
guys
see you
happen to be
guys.
left. Hey, it's you two. And now it's down to you.
Take care, man.
Be well, my friend. And be well, everybody. I really hope everyone has a nice week. Next week might be on Friday. And check it out if it is. Be well, everyone. Thank you for being here. Later.